This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jury's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair?
The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
.10:02. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs 104.5 The Zone studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. More NFL schedule news this morning. The first Monday Night Football game of 2026 will be Broncos versus Chiefs, an AFC West battle. The game's venue, not yet official. The entire regular season schedule will drop on Thursday night. NBA playoffs last night. The Lakers postseason came to an end in a sweep with a 115-110 loss to Oklahoma City, who moves on to the Western Conference Finals. In the East, the Cavaliers evened the series at 2 games apiece with a win over the Pistons. Stanley Cup playoffs last night. The Avalanche took a 3-1 series lead over the Wild with a 5-2 win. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. We're happy to have you, Lucas, Robert, and me. Until 1 o'clock, 615-737-1045 is the number. If you want to jump in, you are welcome to do so at any point. F&M Bank Chat, also available for you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Yes, we will talk a little bit about LeBron James and his postseason coming to an end. Later on in the show, the Titans have a few promotions that they announced yesterday, a new staff hire to the front office structure. A lot of people curious about the front office structure now that Chad Brinker is gone, and what will happen with Dave Ziegler in Minnesota, and who is going to be running the show as far as the front office goes. I mean, we know who's running the show, but how much of that responsibility is going to be exclusively on Mike Borgonzi. We can get into that a little later. So Robert brought up this Lane Kiffin Vanity Fair piece yesterday. What was the context for us, like, briefly touching on this yesterday? Because I feel like we just kind of glossed over it.
I don't remember how it came up, but Robert did bring it to the table.
Because it was one of those things where we were essentially, I don't know if it was in the segment where we were catching Lucas up on all the things that he missed. And, of course, one thing that would be notable, were you surprised at all to learn that Lane Kiffin had done the cover of Vanity Fair?
No.
Before he's coached a game at LSU?
Not in the slightest.
So he cited a number of different reasons for why he wanted to leave Ole Miss and take the LSU job, and was talking about diversity and talking about adult money was one of the quotes in the piece with Vanity Fair, and opened up on a number of different subjects. I wonder what we thought was the most interesting part of this, because the thing that people seem to have gravitated the most to is him talking about race, essentially, and segregation and problem areas in the state of Mississippi generally, which is kind of not the place that I expected Lane Kiffin to open up on in his Vanity Fair piece. And I don't want to discount it or anything like that. It's very real. I just find Lane a very curious messenger on something like that, because I don't think of Lane Kiffin as having a lot of depth. Do you?
I mean, Lane Kiffin, to me, is a fascinating individual.
Sure. That doesn't mean he's deep.
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for when you say depth. Like you're talking about like an introspective person.
Yeah, him thinking about, larger issues in the world. Yeah. And Lane Kiffin thinking about subjects of race and stuff like that, as opposed to just trying to bother people on social media about college football recruiting.
Yeah.
Like that. Robert, do you have the exact quote in front of you from the Vanity Fair piece? I'm having a hard time finding it.
Give me 1 second. I'll get it for you.
I've got a big piece of it here. And this is how Vanity Fair sort of aggregates their own reporting here, their own interview. In explaining his decision to leave Ole Miss for LSU, Lane Kiffin seems willing to invoke Ole Miss's struggle to distance itself from symbols like the Confederate flag, Colonel Rebel, and the nickname, quote, Ole Miss itself. When he was coaching there, Kiffin says top recruits would tell him, quote, hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi. That doesn't come up when you say Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents were sitting here this weekend saying the campus's diversity feels so great, it feels like there's no segregation.
So it's a little loaded. Yeah. It's a little charged.
And it's not, I mean, he talks about a lot of things. He talks about the things you can do at LSU that you can't necessarily do at Ole Miss. He talks about the way that unanimously his mentors, Nick Saban included, told him, you have to take this job going to LSU. We talked about it. There are millions of football reasons why Lane Kiffin is better equipped to win championships at LSU.
For sure.
Over a long spell of time than at Ole Miss, even understanding that Ole Miss was technically closer to that than LSU was last year. You don't do these things in a vacuum, right? You don't do these things based on the 2025 Ole Miss team. You do it based on a projection of what you can do over a certain number of years. It's not a debate that LSU is better equipped to compete for those titles more consistently than Ole Miss is. Like, that's just a fact. But
his ancillary reasoning, though, like, that's the primary reason. The primary reason is it better equips you for success in the area where you're tasked with trying to have success. I just thought it was an interesting side note that Lane decided.
Yeah, it's an interesting turn that he took here.
I don't know. I don't know. I really, I don't really know what to do with it. Like, I'm not chastising Lane Kiffin for bringing it up. It's very real. It's a real thing.
Sure. Absolutely, it's a real thing.
So I guess I'm just having a hard time. Like, is it wrong to say I don't take him seriously on stuff like this? Or not stuff like this, but that I don't take him seriously in general. And so when he broaches serious subject matter, I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe it's on me. Maybe I'm not familiar with that part of Lane Kiffin. We obviously don't know the human being that well, other than what he presents and a lot of the social media behavior and a lot of the stuff that you hear about Lane. I don't know. I sat there and read that quote back several times yesterday. I was like, what do I do with you, Lane?
Yeah. It's just kind of, I would say, slightly annoying for Lane to act like or insinuate that was a part of his decision. Yeah. Like, do we really believe that was his struggle at Ole Miss?
Because nobody's going to, go after Lane Kiffin about that part of it, right? Like, it's not something that you can necessarily get after Lane about in a traditional way, if that makes any sense. Like, it's subject matter that he is correct about, but he is a very imperfect messenger.
It's just convenient for him. You know what I mean? Like at this time, I don't want to let him kind of like hide behind that and be like, Lane, buddy. Like, that's what it feels like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay if you just say, yeah, they offered me a ton of money and I've got a way better chance to win a championship here than I did at Oxford.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that. But that's the thing, though. Like, if he's serious about that element of Oxford, Mississippi, and again, there's the entire South has different areas. Ole Miss is a particularly charged one because they do have a lot of that stuff just that continues to hang around the culture of what the football program, the university is, and I'm sure there are some people that are made very uncomfortable by that. I just didn't take Lane Kiffin to be one of them.
Steve Sarkisian has hit back a little bit at this idea that, coaching at Ole Miss makes it harder to acquire talent based on that background that Lane pointed out. And he doesn't, go against, the racial background of Mississippi and, Colonel Rebel and all of these things. But he did say, this is from Matt Hayes, who has this with USA Today. Steve Sarkisian, quote, at Texas, we will only take 50% of a player's academic credit hours. You may be a semester from graduating, but you're going all the way back to 50% if you play here and want a degree. But at Ole Miss, they can take you. All you have to do is take basket weaving, and you can get an Ole Miss degree. So a little bit of a war of words, slightly here between SEC head coaches, which I am all for. We've got, SEC Media Days around the corner here.
Oh, look at him. That's as big as he smiled in 6 months, Robert. Look at him, SEC Media Days. It still gets you going. It's nice to see that light in your eyes every once in a while. It's refreshing.
The thing is that the SEC at this point, for me, doing this every day, it's nice to miss things sometimes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, the NFL doesn't really let us miss it at any point.
It's in fact, I would argue it's kind of like, it kind of suffocates you like a pillow.
A
like
little
somebody
bit.
trying to kill you.
A little bit. Yeah. So that's why, like, when I, go
You're
on
not excited for schedule release Thursday? I get it.
It's nice to miss something sometimes.
Sure.
It just makes it a little you want it suddenly when you don't have it for a while. And the NFL hasn't really allowed us to not have the NFL in our lives on a daily basis.
And by the way, there is not an accredited union in the SEC that offers a basket weaving class as a credit. They're all non-credited courses, so whoever said that needs to get their facts straight. If you wanted to actually get a basket weaving program, you would have to go to Haystack Mountain School of Crafts, which is in Maine,
nice.
Or Kansas City Art Institute, or the University of Michigan and Temple. Both offer visual arts programs that may include fibrous arts.
just a community of basket weaving individuals somewhere in Maine. That sounds lovely. Doesn't that sound like tranquil?
The joke started
like something out of the Calm app.
With Arizona, University of Arizona in 1998, where they are offered a submerged snorkeling basket weaving course to improve the skills of their divers in the diving class.
Interesting.
Look
at you, the more you know.
And also a quote from Lane Kiffin when talking to recruits. I would have voted for Obama for a third term if they would have let me.
Oh, Lane. So yeah, the curious case of Lane Kiffin continues.
Yes.
I want to know what that's going to look like in Baton Rouge all year long. I wonder how long. I mean, if he wins, then they'll put up with whatever he wants to do, right? It's not like they don't have enough of a cast of characters already down in Baton Rouge coaching the various sports teams. We've talked about. I'm blanking on the men's basketball coach who's going back to LSU. Will Wade, who obviously had the strong ass offer scandal that's no longer a scandal in modern times. So he's back at LSU.
That's also my business plans this weekend.
A strong ass offer?
No, Will Wade. I will be waiting. I will be waiting in the Nashville shore waters.
The wave pool.
How disappointed were you to discover that the wave pool? I mean, do you want to talk about our show adventure yesterday? Because you guys took me to this Indian buffet, and it was delightful.
It was
really good.
I did not think I was going to enjoy that as much as I did.
It was really good.
The only downside, I told you, the food is great, the ambiance is great, everything is great besides the fact that the patrons, the people that own the restaurant, do not want you to eat there.
The patrons are us.
We were the patrons.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So the Patriots.
No.
What's the word for the people that own it?
The restaurateurs. I don't know what
The restaurateurs, yes.
What
the restaurateurs that own
the
this
business owners.
restaurant extraordinaire.
They weren't rude.
They just don't want you to be there.
I don't think
It's just
that's
kind of
true.
it's just kind of a here damn vibe. Like all right, yeah, sit down. Yeah, what do you want? 3, go, sit down.
But that's okay.
Here, what do you want?
No, it's
Water?
very
All right.
okay. I'm cool with it.
To me, that just means the food's good.
It's like eating at my mom's house.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got other things to do. They've got more non-bread to put out because literally like locust, everybody in that restaurant
Descended
upon the buffet. As soon as they brought out more non-bread, Robert went up there with a whole ass plate and just started shoveling bread.
But when we got there, there was none. There wasn't any to be had.
Proprietor.
Yes,
Thank
we
you,
were
Larry.
the patrons. They are the proprietors.
Larry in the F&M Bank chat. Well
That's
done.
a green flag to me, man. If you're going like
was
this to like a
fine.
small hole in the wall place and they're like, yeah, go. What do you want? Just tell me. I'm like, oh, food here is going to be awesome.
They got more food to make. They got more business to do in that back bar. I'm dying. Let's just go to that bar one weekend.
They're like, please leave. It's like, give me another shot of your best bourbon, my friend.
Lane Kiffin did respond to some of the
Oh, good.
responded to the response
Yes.
from his quote in Vanity
I'm
Fair.
sure.
He said this to On3 Sports. Quote, I really apologize if anybody at Ole Miss or in Mississippi was offended by that.
Shut up. He doesn't mean that.
He continued, in a 4-hour interview, I was asked a lot of questions
Oh,
on a lot of
no.
things, and Ole Miss has been wonderful to me and to my family. I was asked questions about the differences in recruiting, and I said a narrative that we battled there from some out-of-state black parents and grandparents was not wanting their kid to move to Mississippi. He's saying a narrative that we battled was grandparents not wanting their kid to move to Mississippi. That's a narrative that coaches have been fighting forever. It wasn't calculated by bringing it up.
Oh, so they're alleging, or there has been a level of response that he's using it as a recruiting tool, like they're racists? Don't go to Ole Miss.
Yeah, he's saying it's just something that came up in the midst of a 4-hour interview.
If you hear any number of athletes that played in the SEC or played games at SEC venues, you will hear stories of this. Like, have you guys ever listened to Bates' podcast? Aaron Bates, former Titans linebacker, he's now the Carolina Panthers assistant special teams coach. Raw Room.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So Bates played at Auburn, and he talks a lot about, the problematic things happening or things being yelled at athletes, obviously at various SEC venues, but getting the worst of it at Ole Miss. I don't think I'm mischaracterizing him I'm using a lot less colorful language than the way that Darren Bates would describe it, but you understand my meaning. So it's not like it's untrue, but now Lane is apologizing for this because if it's true, like, why the apology? Why does Lane need to respond to everything? Why does Lane need to comment to everyone? Why does Lane need to give it a sit down with Vanity Fair and then immediately do give an article to On3 Sports? Why, Lane?
I was on record many times on this show saying I think it's insane to, in a vacuum, chastise a coach for believing he has a better chance to win at LSU than Ole Miss, right?
Yes.
It sucks the way it played out.
Yes.
I think that's more on the college football calendar and less on Lane to leave before the college football playoff and so on. But his ability to make these transitions just as messy as they can possibly be continues to amaze.
He's good.
And we were sold on a bill of a new Lane Kiffin. But it is amazing how he has gone back
who
to.
Was sold? Were either of you sold on a new Lane Kiffin?
No, I mean, that's just the narrative that was out there. Like, this is a different Lane
You mean
Kiffin.
like him at Ole Miss?
I think Ole Miss fans most certainly were sold on it, that they believe, no, this is our guy. This is his home now. And look at us. We're in the playoff. We can do all the things anybody else can do, which to me just isn't true on a long-term basis compared to the likes of a program like LSU. But his ability to just to take these things and have them just spin out like this. We're still talking about it. Like he does a 4-hour Vanity Fair interview to just bring it right back to the top like it's November and we're in the middle of that mess.
CJ, by the way, we're getting feedback on a number of fronts here. Brandon Rushing has identified the restaurant that we were at yesterday, and he's saying it's great. If you become a regular, they warm up to you.
Oh, I just have to go 20 more times. I've been there like.
My goodness, yeah. What is the bar for regular? Robert
How
frequents
often are
that
you
place.
two going? Are you going by yourself? No wonder they don't like you.
I mean, it's usually just me and Lucas. Every time I'm like, oh, this is delicious. I love it. They're like, great.
Get out.
Yeah. Are you done eating yet? Fatty?
Oh, another plate. Okay.
No, they don't do that.
No.
They don't do that at all.
No,
it's a lovely place.
It is
They
a
would
lovely
never
place.
say that to our face. They would wait till they go to the back and be like, that dude is fat as hell.
I'm sure there's I would think that of anybody that's at an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet.
No, I mean, that's just, okay, when you say all you can eat.
That's what it is.
That's just egregious. That's what a buffet is. It just makes it sound worse. That's like saying, like, marijuana. Marijuana sounds so dastardly. Ooh, we know it's weed. Gee, just say that. It's not that bad. Just like the buffet. Okay, it's a buffet. You don't say all you can eat. That makes everyone sound 50 pounds heavier.
I wish we would go back to referring, like pot has become so normalized. I wish we would go back to referring it by all these like code names like Puff the Magic Dragon and stuff like that. I think that's more fun.
Somebody's going to.
Yeah, I think that's more fun. We should have to go back to pot innuendo. It's too prevalent. You guys were worried we didn't have anything to talk about today. Look at that, 20 minutes down. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. We are going to talk about off-season questions remaining in the NFL. Do we have anything to give away for Oh No today?
We do. Chris Stapleton tickets.
Ooh, that's nice. That Bruno Mars concert, did we talk about that on the air? That looked like a good time.
It looked good. I mean, is anybody surprised that Bruno put on a good show? I mean, it's not like he owes money anymore. So, I mean, I thought
that's not real.
The
Have
quality.
you heard about
it
this?
was real. You looked it up. He made a comment
It was
about
Google AI. He was making
real.
a joke.
No.
It was not $50 million in gambling debt.
Are you joking? Are you joking? I will find facts about this. Hold on.
Why don't you find facts about that, and we'll do off-season questions remaining next. We can't talk about eating without talking about Hattie B's. Show made possible by Hattie B's, the greatest hot chicken in the world. About 30 minutes till every Middle Tennessee Hattie B's location wide open for business.
This might have been at HattieB.com.
Yes, thank you.
This might have been the first Weird Al song this might have been my first exposure to Weird Al.
Ooh.
This song. This or White and Nerdy.
White and Nerdy's up there. What's the parody that he does of Gangster's Paradise?
Amish Paradise.
Amish Paradise. I remember Amish Paradise very vividly. That's probably the top 3, like the medal stand of early 2000s Weird Al songs, right? Like there's not a bigger one than any of those 3 that we just named, right?
Oh,
I feel like Amish Paradise was huge.
It was huge. It was huge. That and then the White and Nerdy was huge.
White and Nerdy,
like
yeah.
both of those are big. I just go back to the Running with Scissors album. Like Pretty Fly for a White Guy, the Star Wars song off American Pie that's like 7 minutes long.
Do you want to just play Weird Al songs today?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
His number 1 song on Spotify, most downloaded, 54.6 million, is Amish Paradise.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was on like Hot 96 radio and stuff like that. I mean, that would have been like a local station wherever I was in Virginia.
Well, it also had controversy, too, because Coolio hated it.
Oh, really?
He was not happy about the mischaracterization of Gangster's Paradise.
Because most of the people he parodied were all about it, right?
Yes, yeah.
I feel like you have to lean in.
Yeah.
Like you can't be the one artist that's going to take offense to Weird Al.
Yeah.
Right? You just kind of got to go along with the joke.
Did you guys watch the Weird Al movie with Daniel Radcliffe?
I never got around to it. Was it good?
It was good.
Did Daniel Radcliffe play him?
He plays Weird Al.
That's crazy.
But it is a false re-remembering of his story, where most biopics are like talking about the history and how they got good, but it's him remembering it. So he hooks up with like, I can't remember if it's Cher or Madonna. He hooks up with like a bunch of different like affluent celebrities in it, and it's like a very gross retelling. Like obviously it puts him in a good light, but it's supposed to be comical. It was good. It wasn't bad. Daniel Radcliffe did a really good job.
He's in another show that NBC keeps pushing every time I watch a game on Peacock or something like that. This one with Tracy Morgan. Have you seen what I'm talking about?
I haven't.
He's like a retired NFL player, retired running back, and they're doing like an E60 or a 30 for 30 on it, and Daniel Radcliffe is the documentarian.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it.
The fall and rise of Reggie Dinkins.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
this
supposed
looks
to
great.
be. It's supposed to
I've
be
heard it's
pretty
good.
funny.
I've heard it's
I
good.
haven't gotten around to it yet. I think I saw. I don't know. Would it have been an NFL playoff game or something like that? They played an episode of it right after they had a big sporting event. I can remember.
Yeah,
But
like it's just kind of an odd couple thing, but yeah, I've heard it's good.
Yeah,
Anyway.
first season. Yeah, it just wrapped up April 13th.
Back to more sports conversation, like debating the differences in buffets, because Dylan is in Hermitage next.
Hey, tying into the buffet thing, Fat was a big song by Weird Al as well.
Yeah.
But as far as the buffet thing, there are 2 different styles, I think. There's a CC's, a Golden Corral that is like the glutton, and then there's one that you want to go have a sample of each and not have to go 50 times to get 50 different things.
Okay, I'm with that.
My thought.
Thank you for the call. I think that's an important distinction because we're talking about this. We went to a wonderful Indian food buffet yesterday, and I think that fits more the bill of the latter that he's talking about, right? Where you're going to try a number of different things, but you're not going to just gorge yourself on a giant, metal hot pan of steaks that are probably, horse meat or something like that.
Well, buffets get a bad rap.
No, that's not true.
No, they do. But
Buffets are appropriately stereotyped.
But like buffets like Golden Corral and like private equity, these giant chains.
Yeah, where tubs of food are being prepared in the back that are like, as the caller said, only for gluttony.
Right. Like, that's one thing. But when you're talking about.
He just said the man's buffet.
I mean, yes.
Private equity.
These giant chains, these giant corporations that have buffet restaurants,
Yes.
of course. Like, avoid those. They're just making slop in bulk. But these, like, privately owned hole-in-the-wall, whether it's an Indian joint or a Mexican joint, that to me is like walking into somebody's home and just eating a bunch of home cooking.
Yeah.
Like that's just privately owned little tiny restaurants where they're just whipping it up back there and just serving it for people. It's like walking into someone's kitchen in my mind. So those buffets overall get a bad rap because of the Golden Corrals of the world. But if you find yourself like a small, local, privately owned buffet for a food that you haven't tried, odds are it's probably really good.
I would also say that salad bars, which is like the smallest form of a buffet you can have, are extremely underrated. If people would bring back salad bars, I would eat at a lot more. Me and Cheyenne, on our way back from Chattanooga, what's the town that Bonnaroo's in? Manchester. We stopped at a place, Medley's there, that for $15 you could do the lunch buffet and a salad bar. $15 all in. It was incredible. It was so good. Just like what Lucas is describing. It's like we went into a Southern family's house, and it was like family style. Oh, just help yourself. Get whatever you want. Come back up. Yada, yada. We've got strawberry cheesecake. You can get as many pieces as you want. I took a whole pie. I didn't even ask. That's the good stuff.
Shoving food in your pockets on the way out the door.
And with the Ruby Tuesday salad bar. When I was working with my dad after I graduated college and I guess was too bad at radio to get a job, and I was spraying mosquitoes with him, Ruby Tuesday salad bar every day. I probably ate there 150 times if I ate there once.
Okay, so what category? Does Sperry's still have a salad bar? When's the last time you've been to Sperry's, Lucas? Have you been to Sperry's in Bellevue?
No.
Or Belmead, I guess.
No, I've never been.
Sperry's an institution in Belmead.
I know.
And
okay, talk to me then.
Really, really good restaurant. Now, I don't think it quite fits the bill. It's not Ruby Tuesdays. Okay, like this is it's a higher end establishment, but like you would go in there for a martini, but they also have a salad bar. So like, what category are we? This is not quite walking into somebody's kitchen. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if that's in a category unto itself, a nicer steakhouse type of vibe with a salad bar.
Hermitage Steakhouse in Hermitage also has an incredible salad bar.
Why are we doing this? I'm just going to get hungry.
Well, no one's going to. I'm hoping that one of these places is like, oh, you like us, huh? Well, here we go for the Big Burt Buffet Bar.
Oh, that's why you're doing this?
Yes, I'm trying to angle for an endorsement.
I
want a salad bar endorsement. If you'd like to have the figure of Burt, come down and try our salad bar. Doesn't that man look delicious?
No, but you do look like somebody I would see at a salad bar, I feel like. Right?
A little bit of salad, a lot of bit of toppings.
No, it's fine.
I like the black olives.
There's an
I like
attempt.
the peppercina cherry or the peppers.
No, you're a big lettuce wrap guy.
I do love lettuce.
Yeah.
Which I would not have. I don't think most people would look at you and peg you for a lettuce wrap guy.
Me and Cheyenne made them last night. Made some teriyaki lettuce boats. They were incredible.
Me and Lucas were privy to your dinner plans as Cheyenne was calling to see what you were doing instead of doing something responsible or doing something that you needed to at home.
Don't forget we need cat litter before you go home.
I'm telling you, the way that I laughed overhearing some of Robert and Cheyenne's conversations. What was this? Just like getting ready for prime time or something like that?
I can't remember what it was. I was waiting for her to quit blabbing so I could listen to you blab. And she was like,
it's a tough life.
Talking about her work and things you have to do as a husband, boyfriend, significant other, whatever you want to say. And at the end of it, she was fussing about somebody else. And then when she got to the sign off part, she was like, "Oh, and by the way, make sure you load the dishwasher." Love you, bye.
But it was just one of those situations, Lucas. I don't know if Megan does this. Maybe you do this to Megan, but where you are talking to your significant other about something that has gone on in your day-to-day. Like you're sharing with, this person in your life what your daily events were. But like, I feel like women in particular, they just start throwing out names like all of their coworkers and you're just trying to keep up. Like, I don't know if Megan does this with the various doctors at her hospital, but like they're only using first names and talking about some kind of dramatic situation that's taking place in the workplace. And I don't know. It's like a lot to keep up with. I have to storyboard it.
Does she have a McSteamy? Like, is there a good-looking doctor that I would be so worried that, like, some good-looking doctor would be trying to sweep in and take my woman?
Yes, Lucas. Which of Megan's coworkers threatens you the most?
You ever feel like you need to drive up there and just be like,
9 hours away from your fiance? What a question.
6.5.
McSteamy is a 6.5, or that's your level of worry?
No, Toledo doesn't do anything above a 6.5. It's a 6.5 is like the peak.
A Toledo 6.5 is probably like a 3 here, right?
Brother.
Dang, I would be so hot in Toledo. Can we go to Toledo?
You look like Toledo.
When she started her residency, I started watching Grey's Anatomy because I'm like, all right, let me get down all these terms. What an attending
Mistake.
is. What clinic is. And Grey's Anatomy, yeah, anybody that's seen it knows the deal. But I have learned that having been to her place of work, and hospitals are not a sexy place.
Have you ever seen Scrubs? I don't know. Elliot makes it work.
I think The Pit is the one show that I think accurately shows not exactly a sexy place to work.
My sister watches The Pit, and
it's gruesome, man.
I don't know if we've talked about this on air, but my sister just moved to Nashville, so she's staying with me until she figures out what she wants to do, which is a jarring experience for both of us. But I came down the stairs the other day and she's watching on, the big TV in the living room, some dude just getting his legs sawed off. And it's pretty graphic.
No, it is. People go nuts over that
and
show.
She's just sitting there, just shoveling popcorn down her face and watching this dude get his limb amputated. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Next, we're going to watch some AI Civil War surgeries.
What are we doing? Again, you guys said we had nothing to talk about today. We're cooking. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you call in and tell us what in sports made you say, oh, no, this week, you will win 2 tickets to whom, Robert?
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton, yes. So we will give you ours, and then we will hear from you for the opportunity to win those tickets coming up next.
Hey, it's Lucas. If you listen to the show, you may know I've been gone for a little over a week on vacation, and it's always nice to go to new places and try new things, but you always have that thing that's pulling you back when you get home, that first place you want to go to get a taste of home. And for me, that is absolutely Hattie B's hot chicken. And the good news is there's Hattie B's wherever you look in Middle Tennessee at any one of their locations, whether it's Melrose, Midtown, on Broadway, West Nashville, coming soon to East Nashville, right there on Gallatin. Some really cool stuff planned for that location. Stay tuned for that. But man, oh man, was I craving Hattie B's last week. That crispy, juicy hot chicken with the scratch-made sides, the pimento mac and cheese, southern greens, black-eyed peas, even their southern salads with that cornbread crouton sprinkled on top. If you're looking for something healthy, long story short, hot or not, Hattie B's has something for you, and they make it so easy. Download the app today. Get a free dessert just by downloading the app. Order for pickup or delivery. You can do it on the website as well at HattieB.com.
for the opportunity to win 2 tickets to Chris Stapleton's upcoming show. 615-737-1045 is the number. What in sports made you say, oh, no, this week? So, Robert, I know you watched this last night. Lucas, have you seen the Kevin Hart Netflix roast yet?
Clips.
You have watched the Tom Brady roast, though.
Yeah, I think I watched that mostly in its entirety.
So you're familiar with the concept, at the very least.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So Shane Gillis is hosting this, and they've got Pete Davidson, and they've got Serena Williams, and they've got a number of different people, The Rock, Chelsea Handler, a really, really good number of celebrities that showed up to just destroy Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart, if I'm not mistaken, was the MC for the Tom Brady roast on Netflix, which is the first one of these that Netflix has done. So Brady does this bit, not to spoil this for you, but he crashes Kevin Hart's roast in the middle of it. He's not up there as a roaster, but he walks out on stage and starts making jokes about Diddy parties and a number of other things. But this one was pretty tough. This won't take long because, as you guys know, I'm a busy man, but I do have a few words for you before I return to my affairs in Las Vegas. Oh, wait, I'm talking about affairs in Las Vegas. Was that off? Not supposed to talk about affairs in Vegas? He said, I think I broke another rule. F it. I talked about it because Kevin Hart famously has admitted to having an affair in Vegas while he was with his pregnant, I think still pregnant girlfriend.
Which I did not. I had no idea the context.
Yeah, I don't think most people did either. So it just kind of felt like Brady in that moment outing Kevin Hart. And I know Kevin Hart has talked about this publicly, but yeah, that was a tough one. That was an oh no type of moment. This is a car crash type of moment. I was like, oh, damn, Tom. I mean, I know they went after him pretty hard for the Giselle stuff and the, was it a jiu-jitsu trainer?
Yeah, I mean, Tom.
Who she is now with.
Tom,
like, fully with.
Yeah, I think Tom was looking for some get back. You know, that's fine. Robert and I were talking about this beforehand, though. I feel like most of the clips I've seen from the Kevin Hart roast, like, a lot of it is just, okay, comedians or celebrities or whatever up there. How can I say the most extreme, like, jaw-dropping thing possible?
Yeah, like Tony Hinchcliffe and the George Floyd jokes.
Right, and It's like, you know, but it's like, where's the joke part of it? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like those have become, how can I say the thing that will make people gasp the most? But then you kind of skip over the part where, like, but it has to be, like, funny. Like, where's the joke? Where's the part where there's a punchline? I don't know. I feel like it just ends up with people just saying things that are just extreme and insane. I can't believe they said that. And I'm like, okay, but like it's supposed to be like funny though. Like, where's the part
instead
where
of just oh my god,
yeah. I feel like
Jesus,
they're just seeking shock value at these things now.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I need to go watch the whole thing.
No, you're good.
Dabo Swinney is what
3
made me
hours.
say, oh no,
3 hours.
It's like watching Ben-Hur.
That's excessive. Oh man, I'd rather watch Ben-Hur. I haven't seen it.
Good movie.
Dabo Swinney has spoken, his first comment since the NFL draft, in which Clemson tied a program record. 9 NFL draft picks from a 7-6 season. And Dabo spoke from ACC spring meetings. By the way, SEC spring meetings will be coming up here in a couple of weeks down in Florida. And he was up front. He said it's pretty well documented. We grossly underachieved last year. That isn't a news flash. He said, quote, we just keep beating that dead horse to death. We're on to the new season. We grossly underachieved and underperformed and did not coach and play to our potential. We've had other seasons where we had nobody drafted and won 10-plus games. That's football. It didn't work last year. He did go on and say, the narrative of our program, it's just not accurate. If we go have a bunch of bad years, that's different. But we've had one bad year in 15 years. 10 wins is not a bad year. 11 wins is not a bad year. He said, we wrote a bad chapter, but we're still writing. And the lesson in all of that is it's not about what people predict. It's not about what people say. It's about what you do. We've had many years where we were predicted to stink that we were good, and we've had a couple years that we predicted to be pretty good, and we stunk. The problem is every time Dabo speaks, he continues to appear tone deaf to the trajectory of Clemson's program and the way it's not keeping up with the rest of the sport. And this is an easy target because I don't know what Dabo is supposed to say that will make people happy. I think it's more about what he's supposed to do that will show people that he is willing to change. And they have tweaked things moving forward. But to me, last year wasn't this sort of one-off for Clemson having a bad year with a bunch of talent. It was more of a mark of trajectory on where the program is headed the longer Dabo drags his feet on things that the rest of the sport is doing.
You weren't here last week, so I assume you did not listen to Pate's interview with him?
I haven't gotten a chance. No.
It was Pate asked 4 questions in an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, my.
And Dabo was just going. It was crazy. Because I talked to Josh about it, and I was like, is he just like too aware of the coverage of him? Because he doesn't seem like he would be very online. But I mean, I know that coaches get clips and sound bites and things like that emailed to them every day. Like that's a part of like PR's job is to make sure coaches are aware of things that are being said about them so that if they are asked about them in a press conference, they are equipped to address them. So I don't know if Dabo is just hypersensitive to the coverage of Clemson, but he just comes off as hypersensitive to your point.
Yeah. Damn, just filibustering.
Yeah.
God forbid I have a hobby that's fiscally responsible. Like cards, Pokemon cards, sports cards. You got to deal with scalpers. You got to deal with other people that see value in the hobby. Go into wrestling events. WWE is pricing its fans out. And now you can't even build your favorite Lego set without you having to take out a second mortgage on your house. Are you guys familiar? Lego has been putting out the creme de la creme sets this year for both Pokemon and now diving into Lord of the Rings. I don't think there is a Venn diagram that I'm squarely in the middle of more than Pokemon and Lord of the Rings. They announced in June they are going to release their largest Lord of the Rings Lego set in history. You are going to be able to rebuild the fortress of Minas Tirith with Denethor and Pippin, Gandalf, Aragorn, tons of sets, tons of figures with it. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be over 8,000 pieces large. The battering ram, Grog, that breaks down the gate of the mighty Minas Tirith, comes along with this set. You would be paying $650
For Legos?
for a Lord of the Rings Lego set. These toys aren't for kids anymore. Let's stop pretending that this is for children. 8,278 small, chokeable, bite-sized pieces. This is for adults. This is no longer for kids.
Okay, this might be a dumb question. Does Legos have marketing deals, like merchandising deals with every brand under the sun?
Pretty much.
Pokemon and Lord of the Rings are huge brands.
Well, and for the longest, Pokemon was only associated with Imagine Blocks or Imagiblocks, whatever the lesser, maybe like the AAA version of Legos
They had a crappier Lego partner? That's funny.
Well, they were cool, but Lego was like, we're not going to pay for your IP. We're not going to pay for that. But now they're able to attach these large. I mean, they had a Pikachu, an Eevee, and another set that came out, and they were all over $300. But this Lord of the Rings set, $650. Like, there's no way I could afford this unless I had Buck's money.
Or his mom's money.
Or if Buck wanted, my birthday is coming up. It comes out in June, but my birthday is in August. If you wanted to just buy me, it is the 6th largest Lego set by piece count ever assembled.
6th largest? What is the single largest?
Ooh.
It would have to be something like in the Lego store, right? Have you guys been to the Lego store?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Overwhelming.
I would assume it would be something Star Wars related, but let me figure that out.
I've never been to Legoland either.
What is the difference between Legoland and the Lego store?
Legoland is like a theme park, right?
Well, they have like a legit theme park.
Yeah, in California.
It's
a
I'm
resort.
talking about like the New York or the Times Square Lego store.
Oh no, there's a theme park and resort in California.
Oh my God.
I always wanted to go as a kid.
Are you okay back there?
The largest Lego set ever released by piece count.
And just for reference, the Lord of the Rings was 8,000 pieces.
8,000 pieces. That was the 6th largest. The largest is a piece of the Lego Art World Map, which was the Lego Icon Eiffel Tower, which included 11,695 pieces.
Too much.
It stood at a whopping 59 inches, 1 inch short of being 6 feet tall. 5 feet tall? 6 feet tall? 60 divided by 12? That's 5. Yeah. 5 feet tall. An inch short of being 5 feet tall.
615-737-1045 is the number. What in sports made you say, oh no, for the opportunity to win those Chris Stapleton tickets? Let's start with Jay in Nashville.
Yeah, I got one that was, I believe it was 1 week ago today. It was the Toronto Maple Leafs announcing their GM, and he's sitting right there next to the owner, and a reporter asked a question saying he talked to 20 people respected around the league, only one of whom was supportive of the hire. The other 19, quote, viewed it, quite frankly, as a sham. He said words to describe him were con artist, liar, salesman, as he's sitting right there next to the owner in this press conference.
Whoa. Are you kidding? Thank you for the call. That's a great submission.
So
I didn't.
It was who?
So it's the Maple Leafs. It was a press conference for the Maple Leafs general manager who they just hired. And if I understood Jay correctly, because his phone line wasn't great, he's saying that a reporter at the press conference with the owner and the general manager that they've just hired is saying that the reporter talked to 20 people around the league. And I believe the what he said was like 19 of them had terrible things to say, con artist, liar, all these different things. You finding anything like this?
So for talking about the GM,
yeah,
I do have a video, Robert, that I'm sending in right now. Of this reporter Steve Simmons going at Keith Pelley, who
is the GM.
No, Keith Pelley is the president and CEO of the Maple Leafs.
Okay.
Going at Keith Pelley for hiring John Chayka. I may be mispronouncing the new GM hire, but John is sitting right there as the reporter is going at the Maple Leaf CEO for making the hire. It's about 60 seconds of audio that I think could be worth playing here.
Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun, for Keith. You talk about the due diligence that you did on John prior to hiring him and now hiring him. In the past, say, 3 to 4 days, I have been in contact with about 20 people who work in the National Hockey League, many of whom are prominent names that we would all know. And of the 20 people I spoke to, one was supportive of John's hiring, and the other 19 thought it was a sham, to be perfectly honest. Words were used like con artist, liar, salesman. How did you come to a different conclusion than I was able to come to in a very short time?
I must have talked to different people.
That's it? Because I'm telling you, the hockey world today is astounded by this announcement.
Okay.
And your response to that?
Is we've conducted due diligence, and it was deep due diligence. It was a thorough process, and I'm quite happy with where we've landed.
Dude's right there. Dude's just sitting right there.
Who is this reporter? I love this guy.
He said, that's it?
That's it? That's all you got?
I love, that is one thing about part of the intrigue of the Stanley Cup play. Obviously, we're talking about a team hiring a new GM, but I don't know if you saw this yesterday. Michael McCarron, former Predators forward, Michael McCarron, now with the Wild in the game against the Avs yesterday, calling Josh Manson a dirty player. I mean, maybe we can find the audio and play it at some point. He said, talking to PK Subban and the ESPN crew during intermission after a sequence where Manson was issued a double minor for just nailing McCarron with the butt end of his stick. And McCarron was up there saying, you've played against him, talking to PK. He's a dirty player, always has been. Surprised he only got away with a 4-minute. He said, I'm happy. This was the best part of the Michael McCarron quote. I'm happy he's still in the game. Oh. This is because it was at intermission. It was like just red hot. I had it on. I was like, whoa, let's go.
Awesome.
But it was incredibly dirty play. Like, you just drills him up the middle of his face with the butt of his stick when they were both down on the ice.
All right. So, Jay, leader in the clubhouse. Excellent submission. Well done by Jay. Let's go to Dan in Lewisburg next.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good. Well, my no is the continuing Mike Vrabel, Diana Verzini scandal. The situation involving the Patriots coach, Mike Vrabel, and, of course, Dan Mazzini. There are continuously photos, videos, private boat in Tennessee, and some early ones in Arizona. This story is keeping a lot of people interested. It's getting a lot of takes on it. It's getting more people hanging on to it, like who shot the JR in Dallas in the final episode of MASH. So it's drawn that kind of love relationship saga going on. So that's my big oh no, the continuing saga. And how many weeks will this go on? Will it be turned into a TV series?
It's a fair question. How much longer? Because it does seem like a weekly. This week was a stretch, right? This week's hot.
The Super Bowl picture. Yeah, come on. They're like half side hugging each other in a giant room with a bunch of people.
This week's was a reach, but again, it's just to his point, people are still clicking and interacting with these things. You said which one, Robert? Do you want me to take?
Waddy.
Okay, Waddy, and then we'll pick a winner.
All right, boys. It's from the draft, third round for James Gladstone and the Jaguars. He was taken to number 1, and potential spam was calling, and he picked up, and it was the Jaguars, and then the stream was on while he was getting drafted.
Wait, he was going to the bathroom while he took the call?
Yeah. The Jags just posted it.
That's pretty great.
That's good.
That's a pretty good submission. Well done by Waddy.
I don't know how you beat Jay's, though.
Strong submissions across the board, but yeah, Jay
Montreal reporter.
Jay by a mile, man. That's a crazy soundbite. Second hour coming up next.
11:05. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. More NFL schedule news this morning. The first Monday night football game of 2026 will be Broncos versus Chiefs, a divisional matchup. The venue, not yet official. The entire regular season schedule drops officially on Thursday night. NBA playoffs last night. The Lakers postseason is over in a sweep with a 115-110 loss to Oklahoma City. The Thunder move on to the Western Conference Finals. In the East, the Cavs evened up the series at 2 games apiece with a win over Detroit. Stanley Cup playoff action last night. The Avalanche took a 3-1 series lead over the Wild, 5-2 the final. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
So the schedule release for the NFL is in 2 days from now, and we talked about, Lucas mentioned the idea of just missing SEC football. The NFL does not give you the opportunity to miss it, right? Just keeps continuing to find ways to basically infiltrate every part of the sports calendar, except for that 6-week break during the summer when all NFL teams go away for the summer. Coaches come back usually around July 4th. The players don't get back out on the field until late July for training camp. So we're not quite there, obviously. Titans have OTA practices this week. They will have an open OTA, which we will be at next week, and a few more things before mandatory minicamp, June 16th, 17th, and 18th, I believe. The schedule released Thursday. We know Seahawks are opening the season September the 9th. We don't know who the opponent is just yet. We will see a number of different teams play in a number of different spots, right? It's the Rams and the Niners. We've talked a great deal about them playing on Thursday, September the 10th in Melbourne, Australia, which is 14 hours ahead of New York, 17 hours ahead of Los Angeles. So, adjust your calendars and your clocks accordingly if that's must-see TV, because now we've decided that we're playing divisional games overseas, which I hate. It's my least favorite thing about the international schedule. I like the international games. I don't know how they translate on TV as well as they do in person. Neither of you have been to an international NFL game, yes?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I wasn't either.
You weren't sure that you hadn't been?
Yeah.
Have you been out of the country?
To Toronto.
Okay, it doesn't count.
That does count. That's
out of the country.
That is literally in another country. It is literally in another country.
For now.
For now. God. Where are we going to go if we take them over, though? The draft dodgers are going to have nowhere to go.
Greenland.
Yeah, we're going to keep going north. Hop on that Leif Erikson boat and go to Scandinavia.
Anyway, I by far and away the worst part of the international schedule, to me, are divisional games being played overseas. Because I don't mind the odd exhibition game, especially if you're playing one of these mid-October, interconference games, opponents that don't really see each other that frequently, because you're at an inherent disadvantage if you play an international game. It's just a pain in the ass to pick up and move an NFL organization for any period of time, whether you're doing it for a week, whether you're going over 2 days before, depending on how much you're traveling. Again, 14 or 17 hours time difference from either coast of the United States is Melbourne, Australia, where we will play an NFC West divisional game to start the season. Kyle Shanahan very upset about that and was making jokes, not really that joking, about wanting to make sure that the Rams played a game against the Niners in Mexico so that they could be at a disadvantage, because apparently the Rams submitted the Niners as a request to play in Australia because they are tired of getting outnumbered at SoFi. The international games, we will await to see how many different teams will go international this year. The Titans are not expected to be one of them this year. Next year, they would be in that rotation. I know in a perfect world, they could be the away team next year and not lose a home game in the new stadium. Worst case scenario is that they are a home team for an international game. They were the home team the last time they played the Ravens in 2023 in London. So the hope, if you're the Titans, is that you lose an away game to London or Ireland or wherever they're going to play, as opposed to what the situation has been the last time around.
So we know the season will start in Australia, correct? On that.
Well, the season will start on Wednesday with the Seahawks and then continue.
That's what it is, because the season usually starts on Thursday at the defending Super Bowl champion.
Correct.
Instead, it'll start on Wednesday.
We have mangled
in
the
Seattle.
entire thing to play this Australia game.
And remind me who the Seahawks are playing.
We don't have an opponent yet.
That's right. Okay. Then we have the Australia game.
Pellicero's reporting.
And then we have Cowboys and Giants on Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
And we know that the first Monday Night Football game will be Chiefs and Broncos. We just don't know whether it'll be in Denver or in Kansas City. And we know that the Bills are opening their new Highmark Stadium in week 2 against Detroit.
Love that. That's a fun game.
Who forgot that the Bills' new stadium opens this year? I
did not.
Completely did.
I did not.
I didn't think that was happening that soon, but they will play their first game in the new building in week 2.
So what? We would have been in Buffalo in 2024. Was that Levis/Rudolph? Or did Rudolph start that game? Was that the first game that Rudolph started was Buffalo? Where they had a lead on Josh Allen, and then he just went Super Saiyan in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was 24.
I think he started.
Name a Super Saiyan.
Goku.
You got me this time. I didn't think you. Name another Super Saiyan.
Oh, this is I watch Dragon Ball Z, but I'm not going to be able to name the characters.
Name the mean one. Name the mean Saiyan. The Prince of all Saiyans.
Oh, the green one? The lizard-looking one?
Piccolo is
Vegeta?
not a... There you go. But okay.
Dang, Dragon Ball Z knowledge.
Dude, Piccolo...
Saturday cartoons.
Piccolo is a Namekian.
Piccolo.
He is not a Saiyan.
He's got like a tail, right? He's like a lizard creature.
No, that's Frieza. You're thinking, well, I mean, technically Piccolo... And you're talking about Cell. Cell has a tail, and that's only Cell Phase 1.
Come on.
That's the third arc, dude. What do you... You watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z. Are you a nerd?
I was. Saturday morning cartoons. It wasn't it like Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z? I feel like there was another.
You probably watched Toonami.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Is what you're thinking of.
No, Dragon Ball Z was on Saturday morning cartoons.
Dragon Ball Z was not on WB. What you're describing was the WB lineup with like the Jackie Chan, the Talismans.
Right. What was that? Samurai Jack?
Yes. Do you remember Uncle? Yeah, Jackie! With Toru?
Okay, careful.
No, come on. And
Careful.
And Jade? Dude, Jackie Chan, what is that on? Jackie Chan Adventures slapped.
I think it was WB. I think it was the Jackie Chan Adventure Show, and then I think, was it Samurai Jack is Cartoon Network?
Yes, that's why I'm saying
Okay,
I think
I'm mixing
you have
and
them.
matching.
Yes.
I'm mixing and matching. All right.
Where can I watch
So, yeah, I mean, Saturday cartoons. This is all the same generation.
Tubi. Dude, Tubi's got everything,
No,
man.
Tubi doesn't have anything. It has
Tubi
that Cam Ward thing that nobody watched, and it's got Yu-Gi-Oh.
Nobody bother me. I'm going to watch Jackie Chan Adventures the rest of the show. Oh, it's unavailable. If you guys had to use a talisman, what talisman would you use?
Okay, what are the talismans?
You don't remember the talisman?
No,
Like-
buddy, it's been literally almost 25 years.
Well, each one was associated with a different symbol of the Chinese New Year. So, ox, rooster, snake, rabbit, sheep, dragon,
so
rat,
what,
horse.
like ox would be strength?
Yeah, super strength.
Okay.
Rooster was levitation. Snake was invisibility. Rabbit was super speed.
Because isn't the whole thing they're chasing down the talismans? Like people have captured these talismans.
Well, they're trying to get all of them. If you
Yeah.
have all of them, then you would become the super powered being.
Okay.
I would probably want the pig. It gave you thermal vision.
What?
It's like supervision. You can just see through walls and clothes.
Pigs can see.
I don't think they have to make sense.
You've had a problematic segment.
Sheep was astral projection. What does that even mean?
I'm confused.
This was Ben 10 before Ben 10 existed.
Ben 10. Okay, we could literally just sit here like naming football players and name Cartoon Network cartoons. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to participate in something. I don't know what the hell we're doing, but we'll continue to talk about the NFL schedule and LeBron James coming up next. if your energy's off, if things aren't working like they used to, you're not alone. The Tennessee Men's Clinic, powered by Men's Pro, is here to help you. And what you'll love about the experience is that they've been doing this for years. They're not just the newest fly-by-night place or sketchy online pill. You're working with true medical providers. They run labs, build a plan around you specifically, not some one-size-fits-all type deal. They treat low performance, ED, weight loss, even peptides like NAD+. Their treatments have worked for thousands of men, and most guys say they wish they would have come in sooner instead of procrastinating and just hoping that the problem corrected itself. Right now, your lab panel and consultation are just $99. So call them today at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090, or book easily online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. I feel like I shouldn't even talk over Holy Diver.
Yeah.
Banger. Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Lucas, we have some college football news.
Yes, some schedule news on the college side. Pete Nakos of On3 Sports reporting that College Game Day is headed to Baton Rouge in Week 1 for LSU versus Clemson. Part 2 of a home-and-home that saw LSU win at Clemson last year in what was at that time a top 10 matchup between two teams that ultimately had incredibly disappointing 2025s. 17-10 was the win for LSU. Now they go back to Baton Rouge. It's Lane Kiffin versus Dabo Swinney to open up College Game Day in 2026.
What a made-for-TV event.
Yes. The Battle of the Death Valleys, Part 2.
Why are they going to do that to Dabo that early? Why are they going to do that to him? He's coming off the hardest year of his professional career. It's like,
no, that's not the hardest year of his professional career.
When is it?
Clemson, when he got there, was not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but expectations weren't high.
Sure.
No, they weren't.
No, it used to be a thing. Clemsoning.
I'm with Robert. I could see it. Last year probably was the most challenging year of his head coaching career, with expectations and that talent roster and the results being what they were and all the noise that just swirls outside of the program about how they handle things up there with the changing landscape. But Clemson, I don't know that I expect to be a preseason top 25 team for what that's worth, but obviously a big name matchup with a couple of big name head coaches.
Have you guys seen any projected win totals for the college football season win totals?
I haven't.
I've got a few. Bet Online AG. You want to take a guess at LSU? It's the same as it was in 2025, if that is any kind of a hit for you.
9.5?
8.5?
8.5 is correct. Ding, ding, ding. Lucas, a winner. 8.5 is one of the largest win totals, projected win totals. Over-under in the SEC this year. A&M is also 8.5. Vandy projected to win 6 games, or over-under is at 6 games this year. Florida.
6 games even.
Jumped up to 7.5. Tennessee experienced one of the sharpest drops in the conference. Now, I don't know who was seeing 9.5 for Tennessee last year. I don't remember 9.5 floating around almost anywhere.
No.
But they're saying it was a fall from 9.5 to 7.5. So maybe this was preseason, like if you're talking like in March, maybe like before the whole. When did Nico happen?
What do you mean? When did it happen? When did the exit happen?
Yeah, when did the
When
entire
were you?
When did Nico happen? He's what, 21, 22? So I'd say, what, 2000?
Go ahead, do some math.
End of spring ball.
You ran from that so fast.
April 10th.
Okay. So.
Or April 12th.
Yeah. This would have been, if we're talking about like going back to last April.
A year and a month ago.
Things would not have, 9.5 would have felt like the opening offshore odds total for Tennessee would have been 9.5 coming off a playoff run with a returning quarterback that was at least at the time thought highly of. I don't know what Nico's, what's going to happen to Nico now at UCLA and beyond that. But 9.5 to 7.5 is a significant drop if you're not taking into consideration basically everything that happened between mid-April and the start of the season. Because that time period, think about it, that's what we were talking about at this time last year. It's just an insane whirlwind, constant news updates daily, following along from people's Twitter accounts to what's Nico's dad saying to who's reporting what to people lashing out at Pete Nakos, poor Pete Nakos, just trying to do some good and journalistically sound reporting out here on the Nico situation.
Yeah,
it's
it was a wild week.
Offseason.
The wild week, for sure. This is a very welcome, I'm sure, for Josh Heupel, a welcome, what hopefully will be a relatively drama-free offseason. The lack of a post-spring.
Well, what's going on with this homesick kid that won't play? Or it doesn't sound like he's going to play.
That's the question right now. Chaz Coleman, who is the highest paid player on Tennessee's roster right now, per reports.
God,
I think those concerns they sound like they're still lingering around Chaz Coleman. I haven't heard anything new. I know that recently there was some reporting from Brent Hubbs, who was with Ramon and Will doing his weekly Friday hit. And this was, I think, 2 weeks ago. And I'm sure the audio we have laying around somewhere. But Brent Hubbs saying, quote, "I don't think it's about being homesick. It's certainly not about money. He's just dealing with some personal things that he's trying to get himself through. He's not been 100% physically. I think that's bothered him a little bit. He got banged up late last year, and I think he's had some lingering effects, and some of that stuff has messed with him a little bit, and he has some personal things he has been dealing with and going through." Hubbs said he has been around his teammates more. He has been in the building, and he's been in constant and consistent conversation with Rodney Garner. And they have started to develop a relationship. So Hubbs basically told Ramon and Will things are better than they were around Chaz Coleman.
Still, I don't want to take any of that lightly just because it's so nebulous. Like, you have no idea what he could actually be going through. So I don't want to say that tongue in cheek, but I'm sure that's not being met too receptively by Tennessee fans, given the reported figure around him.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's been like 100% back, like fully in conditioning and the weight room and all these things. So there's no question Chaz Coleman's a huge piece of what Tennessee wants to be defensively next year. Like, Jim Knowles could find ways to scheme up pressure, but it helps when your highest ceiling player is on the field in Chaz Coleman. Like, he's got the skill set to be one of the most dangerous pass rushers in the SEC this year. So if Tennessee can unlock that and get through whatever this is, to me, it makes a massive difference when you talk about the ceiling of this defense and the leap it's trying to make from a disappointing 2025. But yeah, right now that is the one piece of drama lingering around the program. It still feels like it's a lot less, disruptive than going straight from the Nico stuff into the Boo Carter stuff, which was weird.
How does this, going back to the Clemson-LSU opening game, how does this rank compared to last year's open, which was Texas-Ohio State? Which I think is the second game of the season. But
how many times, would this be the third consecutive year those two have played? Texas-Ohio State? Are you saying, Robert, are you saying it's on the schedule again this year?
No, he's saying compared to last year's opener.
Okay, because Texas and Ohio State had played twice, right? The Cotton Bowl the year prior, and then in week one to start last year's season.
They do play this year, September 12th.
Okay, so that's a home and home.
So, okay, interesting. Lucas, I defer to you, obviously, but I just think it was a huge hype.
Oh, it was a hugely disappointing game.
Hype.
Yeah.
Just by nature of the Arch Man, because that started the Arch Manning. Is he the first? What was that Deadspin article? It wasn't Deadspin. Who wrote the article about Arch Manning being the first college football NIL bust? There was an article that was floating around. I want to say it was on The Athletic.
New York Times?
Or something like that. Well, New York Times would be The Athletic, so it's possible. I think it was the guy that started Deadspin, Will Leach. But I remember that getting a ton of headlines right after the Ohio State game because, it was an ugly game. It was I watched both sides of that game just recently because I was looking at Carnell Tate plays for the live show and Anthony Hill plays for the live show. And obviously those two faced off against one another the last couple of years.
I'm afraid we're going to start seeing fewer and fewer matchups like this, right? The LSU versus Clemson's, Ohio State versus Texas's, because when you look at that week one slate, that's it, man. Game day is going to Baton Rouge for LSU to host a Clemson team that may not even be in the preseason top 25, but there's really no other option. Like, where else are they going to go? Are they going to go to Auburn for the Baylor game to open the Alex Golish era?
That was an opener last year, too, wasn't it?
Auburn did play Baylor. Yeah, it was a home and home. Yes,
Okay.
That's how these things work. You schedule, these non-conference home and homes where we come to your place, you come to our place. I just love how these teams. What is going on? These teams playing each other twice.
They've already done this. I've had a birthday, sir. What do you mean? I don't need another.
Didn't they do this last year? Like, yes. This is like,
doesn't do this, so I don't know. They just canceled one, I think, against like Virginia Tech or something like that.
Oh, you get a taste of that. You get a taste of that natty, and then
they're
you just
playing like Duquesne.
You want to start shutting guys down.
I didn't even know they had a football team.
But there's really no big, there's none of these monster matchups in week one. It's LSU Clemson, and that's it, man. I think Baylor Auburn, that may be the only other power conference versus power conference matchup of week one.
Do you still have the win totals in front of you?
I have a few win totals in front of me. I can get the full win totals if you would like.
I just need you to look at the American Athletic Conference. If you've got a second.
You want to know what ECU's projected win total is this year?
Maybe the audience might like to know Memphis, and then while you're on the page, maybe you could tell me.
This can't turn into, okay, who did they pick for the Ravens? Or what are they saying about ECU? I do not have.
By the way, ECU.
Maybe I do.
You know who ECU opens with, Robert?
It's not NC State. I can't remember who it is.
They're at Bama.
Oh, football season starts week 2 for me. Should be fun.
Do you want to take a guess at their projected win total?
Let's say, they kept their head coach. They lost their OC, lost their DC, lost their quarterback, lost 13 starters on offense and defense to Power 4 conferences. Let's say...
Not that you're better.
7.5.
Oh, did you look?
I didn't. Is that it?
Yes.
Nice. Very good.
Projected record of 8-4.
We're going to lose our head coach after this year, so they better make it count. He's going to get paid and go to Georgia Tech or somewhere, and I'm going to be sad.
I mean, they were 8-4 last year.
Yeah, they were nice. Yeah. It's good. It's good. Yeah, everything's fine. No big problem. Mr. Beast is using our stadium in the offseason, paying us $250,000. Be nice if he gave us $5. Not a big deal. I'm not bitter.
I guess this is just something that missed me in terms of like the cultural phenomenons. I am just totally perplexed by the Mr. Beast guy. Because it's just like he's just doing like challenges for money, right, on the internet?
Yeah, but they're like the craziest challenges you've ever seen. Like he started this Amazon Prime series called The Beast Games, which are kind of like Squid Games. He stole
Did
the
people
whole
get shot?
Well, basically like the floor drops.
Did you guys watch Squid Games?
Yeah, yes, it is not life or death, but so he started doing that, but like his whole premise was he started doing videos and he snowballed them. So like one would be, I bought a used car lot and everyone that comes today gets to name their own price. And he is actually from Greenville, the town that hosts East Carolina. Like I remember when I worked in radio there, one of his videos was, we're making a full car out of Legos. And we saw him driving along the streets like in the Lego car. But he just snowballed each one of these into, now it's like, if you can stay on this island, whoever stays here the longest gets this island. Or whoever builds the most, they'll go to Africa. Whoever builds the most wells, like, gets,
that's nice.
Like, yeah, he's always giving back. He is a weird cat, but I feel like his heart's in the right place. I feel like it's just overexposure where people are like,
Sure.
who the hell is this guy? What's he doing? Why are you a beast?
Like your nemesis, John Fanta.
Don't compare the two.
It's like
one is the beast and one is the least.
Your John Fanta is Lucas is Noah Eagle.
Yeah. I could get down with that. Yeah, who's John Fanta's father? Heir to the Fanta fortune? We love your sodas?
That would be crazy.
That'd be great.
Well, it's already happened with Spence, right? Or whatever the guy's name is. The dad works for Starbucks or owns Starbucks or something like that.
Schultz.
Yeah, that's where John Fanta, that's how he weaseled his way in here, heir to the soda fortune.
Reckless speculation.
No,
I remember it was like an outrage thing here, a controversy thing here when Bomani Jones went after Arthur Smith for being the son of Fred Smith, except Arthur had never, Arthur was like a quality control grunt.
No way, shape, or form has ever used that to his advantage.
You would never know that Arthur Smith is heir to FedEx.
Yeah, that was like one of those things that when people found out, they're like,
that guy?
Really? I had no idea.
The guy that looks like he hasn't shaved in 2 months? That guy?
It's ironic. The guy whose father worked for FedEx has trouble delivering.
No, not worked for FedEx. Founded FedEx.
The guy who founded FedEx, son, has trouble delivering.
Sounds like he's not the one who had trouble delivering.
No, he's the Ohio State offensive coordinator.
Right.
He's up there with Matt Patricia.
What do you think about that? Like, Chip Kelly is a different example than Arthur Smith, but
why? Because Chip had done it at the college level?
Yes, for sure. I do think that matters. And Chip, obviously Chip is not doing recruiting the way that he used to when he went to Ohio State. And there's a number of different things that I'm sure are different about roles and responsibilities. But like the idea of Arthur Smith being a college offensive coordinator is odd to me.
The thing that intrigues me the most about those situations when you have, a career NFL coach coming down to the college level in a coordinator role is how much are you delegating the recruitment and NIL side and everything that comes with that? How much of that is he doing? I'm genuinely fascinated. How much of that was Brian Dable doing when he dipped down to the college level to work for Nick Saban and what was obviously a hugely successful spell at Alabama? That was 1 year for Dable, and he hadn't worked in the college game since he was a GA in the late 90s.
But such a different time even with Dable. That was 2017.
Yeah.
Like it's a
very
different world.
Completely different. Yeah.
I would, and I don't know this. In fact, I could probably figure this out in fairly short order. But I would be surprised if a coach like Arthur Smith didn't have some kind of contractual stipulation, like, I'm not doing recruiting. Like, I'll come down here and I'll do this. Again, I have no idea what's in Arthur's contract.
I mean, who knows? Matt Patricia, how does that work? It's worked for Matt Patricia.
Sure.
I mean, that defense was elite last year. It's also loaded with talent, and Arthur Smith is going to be loaded with talent. I'll be surprised if that
you can make
doesn't work for Ohio State this year.
I imagine you could make more money as the Ohio State offensive coordinator, or at least commensurate money as you were making in Pittsburgh.
We could be talking about Arthur Smith as a head coaching candidate in the college game. Like, who knows? Who knows how these things will develop? But I am getting some. We have some new schedule news
on the NFL front
coming down the wire. Oh no, this is. Oh no, this is big. This is big. The three of us, this show, will be broadcasting live this Thursday from the Buddy Allen Floor and Home 10th annual Tunnel to Towers golf tournament at Hermitage Golf Course. Wow, third confirmation is confirming that we will indeed be out there at the Buddy Allen Golf Tournament supporting Tunnel to Towers, a fantastic organization.
Yes.
Visit T2T.org. That's the letter T, the number 2, the letter T. And come see us out at Hermitage Golf Course on Thursday. Should be a beautiful day.
I am also getting confirmation that we will be wearing. Can you you're confirming that? Okay. Yes, we will be all wearing kilts.
No.
Will they be provided for us?
Actually, we might want kilts. It's going to be like 90 degrees.
Oh, yes.
Lizard boy, you went to Portugal. It was like 60 degrees. You got a pretty good tan for it being that cold.
It was a sunny. Like when it was sunny, when the clouds were gone, even though it was like 62 degrees, it was incredible. But like one little bit of cloud cover and it felt like it was 40 degrees. But I'll be excited for 90-degree weather.
Can you guys tell?
It's going to be a beautiful day. It's a high of 71 Thursday.
Oh, yes.
But it's going to get into the 90s this weekend, isn't it?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Me too. Can you guys tell me the two college programs that Arthur Smith had previously worked for?
North Carolina.
Okay. Who's the other one?
Where did he go to school?
North Carolina.
Okay.
That's the only reason
Memphis?
I got that.
Getting closer. He's from Memphis.
Right.
Well, sure. Yes, famously.
Ole Miss.
Okay.
He was, before he came to the Titans, he was a defensive intern and administrative assistant.
Was that under Matt Luke?
What year?
2010.
No, that's way further back than Matt Luke. Oh, we're talking, oh, goodness.
Who was before Hugh Freeze?
Oh, who's the Ole Miss that's going to drive me
Jacob
crazy?
Who?
No.
It was just the opposite of Hugh Freeze. I didn't know.
Come on.
You don't remember Jacob Heat at Ole Miss?
You're
This
done.
is
You're done for the rest of the hour.
Oh, my God. Their quarterback. I even remember who their quarterback was. It Houston Nutt? I think it was Houston Nutt.
Houston Nutt.
Their quarterback.
Yes. Wait. I'm getting confirmed. Hold on. Yes, it was Houston Nutt.
Don't want to do this.
The Ole Miss quarterback in 2010 was that Oregon
We're all
transfer.
wearing headphones. Nobody's talking into them except you.
What was his name? Jeremiah something.
Yes.
Who?
This quarterback played for Ole Miss. He had transferred from Oregon. He was from Hawaii. Jeremiah something.
Oh,
I was going to drive.
That was his
blind
name.
next,
No,
dude.
that was it.
Jeremiah something?
Yes, last name something. Yes. Brother of Jake something. Wait, I'm getting something else? No. Go for Robert.
Masoli. Y'all remember Jeremiah Masoli?
No, I don't remember him at all.
Masoli.
He was Ole Miss's quarterback in 2010. Just a random.
How the hell do you know that?
Just one of those random. I remember Tennessee won that game, I want to say 52-14 against Ole Miss in that because Justin Hunter and Derrick Rogers went crazy.
Derrick Rogers.
Can you check if I'm right on that? The Tennessee Ole Miss score in 2010?
Yeah, I'm getting back from our stats and info.
Okay.
You didn't look it up.
Hey, you. Yeah, where you been?
This is how Adam Schefter conducts business.
No, I can talk. Yeah.
This is Rap Sheet talking to his cowboy source.
I will. I'll let him know. Okay. All right. You have a great day, too. Great to talk to you, Sue. Yeah, she didn't know. She had no clue.
You can't. Oh, I'll look it up.
Is LeBron James done? Next.
No, hold on.
Next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world, now open. All of their Middle Tennessee locations, 11 o'clock. You can get your lunch orders in now if you haven't done so already. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you would like to participate, you can do just that. Robert, we had a tremendous missed opportunity during the commercial break.
I was so upset he hung up. If you guys are unfamiliar with how things work, people can just call up. People can call up here anytime you want to. 615-737-1045. You can talk to me right now. I can stop talking on this and answer your phone call.
He'd rather do that, in fact.
Honestly, it's a lot easier work if you can get it. But we got a call as we were going to a break. And the fella said, yes, I'd like to chime in on the alien conversation you guys are having. And as soon as that happened, my antennas went up. I was like, hold on. One, we weren't talking about aliens. But two, I really want to know who the hell you were listening to that's talking about aliens.
Maybe it was TN.
It's for sure TN.
Maybe across the hall.
Different aliens.
I was praying.
I'm sure it's illegal aliens.
No, aliens have been in the news.
Yes.
I thought you were making a TN joke.
No, they recently released these UFO files. I haven't read them, but like it's
what?
Yes.
Have you not seen this?
No.
Hold on, let me get
I've been completely removed.
Like a ton of files and like black and white, like infrared videos have been released.
Okay, is there anything in there?
Like little dots moving across the screen.
Right, yeah. It's all grainy and like Bigfoot-esque.
Yeah.
On May 8th, President Donald Trump released the first set of declassified UFO files, free to all Americans to view. But just what exactly are we meant to think about all this? For the several months, I've been investigating that question, speaking with numerous UFO whistleblowers, skeptics, and enthusiasts in an effort to understand what the smartest people should make of the possibility of life beyond our planet. You can watch the interviews below, blah, 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 blah. So basically, they released a ton of these grainy, looks like the almost the same thing the White House has been tweeting out about, like the drone strikes or whatever. Like you can't really tell what's going on in the video besides the fact of, that's an explosion. Oh, this is something else. But the fact that they are releasing these declassified things means that there are things that have been not yet declassified. What are you not showing us? If you're showing us this, what's the good part of the catalog? Once we get past all the articles in the Playboys, where's the good stuff? Where's the pinup calendars? Where's the stuff we're really looking for? That's what I'm looking for. And I wish the caller could have chimed in and let us know a little bit about how he felt about the aliens.
I was right, by the way. 52-14. That was the score of the Tennessee Ole Miss game in 2010.
You're so stinking smart. God, I love it.
You feel better?
I feel really good about it. The game happened 16 years ago. I just pulled that right out of my head.
No, I know.
You have to be proud of him, dude. He's coming off a trip of a lifetime to another country, across the ocean.
Another country that he's been faking like he's from.
And he doesn't act like he's a Portuguese person.
What are you talking about? Never once for... You just Portugal and Brazil are just the same thing because they speak Portuguese. Is that what it is?
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you speak Portuguese. You're from.
Really?
I guess if you speak Spanish, you're from Spain, according to Buck. That's it.
I'm from Portugal. You think that's what they sound like? Come on, dude. There's two things that I can't stand.
I'm trying so hard not to make a joke about that meeting we had the other day.
People that are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch. Can't stand them.
What were we going to talk about here? Is LeBron done?
Is LeBron done?
They put up a fight last night.
Imagine if we were a proper sports show. I mean, my God. They did put up a fight, but it didn't matter, right? The Thunder rolled them, no pun intended. And for LeBron James at 41 years old, who, played fine. He was not the problem. It's the fact that he can no longer be. LeBron James, we're at 41 years old, breaking news, can no longer be the best player on your basketball team. It's not shocking anybody, right? He needs Luka. He needs Austin Reeves. He needs a more complete roster around him. Is LeBron James, and I'd be curious to know, I'm sure the answers after their loss last night, I saw a lot of them on SportsCenter, basically just saying he needs to take time away and think about what he wants to do and talk about it with his family and all these different things, which is, of course, the proper way to approach any kind of question about his future. But this is the first time where you could reasonably make the case that LeBron James could step away, and it would not be a surprise to anybody because he's just fallen short, again, against a team that's a juggernaut. And the Thunder, not just this year, but since SGA has been with Oklahoma City. The Thunder own the Lakers when the two meet. I don't know what he's going to do.
LeBron had 24 points yesterday. Austin Reeves led the Lakers with 27. LeBron 8 of 18 from the floor, 12 rebounds. So he finishes the season on a double-double, and he was predictably non-committal. This was LeBron James when asked about his future postgame.
Well, I think you guys asked me about it, and I've answered questions. Yeah, I don't think I've come out and like, oh, retirement is coming. I mean, with my future, I don't know, obviously. I mean, obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously, as it stands right now tonight. I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think, to Minnesota, to go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, obviously, you guys know what I decide to do.
I think there's no way LeBron retires without a farewell season.
Bingo.
I think there's no way that we just learn one day in July, oh, LeBron's retiring. No shot it's not dragged out over the course of an entire NBA season.
Like the Coach K retirement, where every time, or Chipper Jones, every time he goes to play in an arena for the last time, they have a gift for him.
Kobe.
Correct.
Or like the second base, or the rim, or the net, or whatever.
I think Kobe got like cowboy boots when he went to Dallas or something like that.
Exactly.
Do you guys think, do you see the parallels between you and LeBron, Buck? Because they're just so apparent to
Naturally.
me.
The hairline.
Well, no, the hairline is one, but it's more so the performance, because a once proud performer, a once proud member of his field, who used to be able to carry the thing by himself, but now he's getting to a place in his career where he's not able to do it all. He needs a Lucas. He needs an Austin Reeves.
An injury-prone Luka.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The young upstart, the handsome Austin
Way too
Reeves.
close.
I mean, you're starting to learn, like, okay, maybe LeBron, and maybe we should have appreciated more. This is more for LeBron and not for you. We should have appreciated LeBron more in his prime, because now we're having to watch him in a cast of characters that really can't hold up to the test of time.
I, like LeBron, stopped listening to you once you compared me to LeBron.
You were too busy reading your books.
That's right.
LeBron. What's your favorite Godfather movie?
I was congratulating Jeannie Buss and whomever that was with her on a happy International Women's Day.
First of all, I just want to let you guys know, happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
Just fawning over him.
correct.
That's definitely a pickup line you would use.
I am 100% LeBron.
Bronny did not play last night. Dalton Connect also did not play, for what it's worth. He's been a non-factor.
Yeah.
But, Patriots get swept. Thunder cruise back to the Western Conference Finals. Shay in the F&M Bank chat says LeBron will never turn down the chance for spectacle-level attention.
That's the whole reason we went to the Indian buffet yesterday. The non-factor.
Go to break.
No. That was pretty good. We should take this call, though.
Why? Because it's for you?
Yeah.
You want to
I
take
don't
it?
know if you're going to like it.
Go ahead and take the call.
Hit me with it.
Watt in Lewisburg. Watt up.
What's up, guys? Thanks for finally getting me on here. Love this show. Love to listen. And heard Lucas talking about Tennessee's big 2010 season, and just wanted to remind him if he can remember the score from that famous LSU game. And we're going to get revenge on Tennessee come this season from that ass whooping they gave us 4 years ago. I'll hang up and listen. Love the show. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Yes, that was the Derek Dooley too many men on the field game. I actually don't remember the exact final of that game, but I definitely remember the circumstance.
Give it a shot. What do you think?
Do you have it in front of you? Wait until you have it in front of you.
Let's say like 14-12.
You think that's what it was?
What was it?
LSU 16, Tennessee 14.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Close.
That's pretty damn good. All right, you get credit for that. Now go to break.
Yeah.
It's Ramon Foster, and I'm with Aaron from United Structure Systems. Man, they came by today to check out my house. If there's anything, any issues, small or big, you're gonna fill us in there.
We can take care of it no matter what kind of problems. So first off, we'll just kind of take a look through your house and see what kind of issues you got going. You know, cracks in the brick, cracks in the drywall, weird spots in the floor, doors sticking, windows not opening properly. Once we identify those areas, we're going to do a thorough inspection around the outside, make sure there's no issues going on with that. And then once we look over it, we'll talk about what's going on, and hopefully we ain't got no issues, and then we'll go from there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Foster, so we have looked at the issues that you brought up. We had the drywall in the attic up here above your bonus or your garage. You had some doors sticking.
I did.
Going in your bathroom. So we've inspected all that. We don't see any major structural concerns. So you're going to be one of our lucky good news customers today. There is some minor deflection there. That's not an uncommon thing. As any house is built, it's its biggest and its strongest the day that it's born. Right, and from that point, it just gets older, just like us. We ain't hopping up out of bed, taking off down the hallway, running down the stairs anymore.
Not protecting quarterbacks anymore.
No.
Opening up late. We're done.
Your guard ain't there no more.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So it just happens. It gets a little older and it starts to deflect. Now, there are some things we can do to kind of help adjust those doors, mainly adjusting in the door, which we don't necessarily do, and maybe doing some light shimming in the crawl space down there to address those sticking doors. But for now, no major issues there. We did talk about the grading in the back and some issues that we can take care of back there for you. But that's pretty much up in a nutshell. No big issues and you're good to go. So.
Awesome. So again, what you deal with United Structural Systems is it's upfront, it's honest, and now I can sleep peacefully at night, okay?
12:01, good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. More NFL schedule news trickling down. The first Monday night football game of 2026 will be Broncos versus Chiefs. The game's venue, TBD. The entire regular season schedule will not drop until Thursday night. We also know that Thursday night football will open up in week 2 at the Bills' new Highmark Stadium as Buffalo hosts the Detroit Lions. NBA playoff action tonight, Game 5 in the Western Conference semifinals with the series tied up at 2. The Spurs hosting the Timberwolves with a 7 p.m. tip-off. And tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Sabres look to even the series in Game 4 against the Canadiens at 6. Ducks and Golden Knights drop the puck at 8:30 in Game 5 with that series tied at 2. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Final hour is upon us on this Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. 615-737-1045, the number. If you want to jump in, Lucas, Robert, me with you until 1 o'clock. You also have the F&M Bank chat where you can comment if you would like to. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is where you can live stream the show, watch along with us, any of the shows. By the way, speaking of shows, the Install Live Part 2 is up and available on the Zone's YouTube channel. So, Part 1, no, Robert, don't wave a finger at me. I thought it was done. What happened? All right, Part 2 is tonight at 6 p.m. Robert has already told me that, so that's my fault. But yes, Part 2 will be at 6 p.m. Part 1 is up and available at 1045 The Zone's YouTube channel. Part 2 has the tape breakdown. So Mike Borgonzi and Cosell talking about the roster construction in Part 1. And then Part 2 is the actual tape breakdowns of the players. Keldrick Falk. We did Carnell Tate. We did Nick Singleton, the running back from Penn State. And we also broke down some plays on Anthony Hill, which I think you guys will enjoy. There's also a Q&A section in there, Lucas, in which one person, and we do the donations or the questions based on who donates to Home Street Home. By the way, we were able to raise almost $5,000, which really appreciate you guys for helping us do that. Somebody asked Greg a question as a teaser for the audience about whether the Titans wouldn't have been better off drafting Kyle McCord instead of Cam Ward.
And?
Tune in at 6 p.m. to find out. You can imagine how that went over in the room.
At 6 p.m.?
Yeah, that's when Robert said he's debuting, and he just fussed at me because I didn't get that right. Yeah, they're going to debut it on YouTube.
I thought you were saying like 6 p.m. on The Zone. Okay.
Yeah, on The Zone's YouTube channel. What are you doing over there?
I'm clearing up storage.
From your trip?
Yeah. No, just in general. Now's as good as time.
What's getting the axe? Now's as good a time as any.
I have so many pictures of Leo on my phone.
Of the cat?
Yes, so many. An egregious amount.
What are there more pictures of your cat or of Megan? You want to answer that question?
No.
Yeah. It's a safe bet. So, with the roster construction, with all the different things that we talked about with Mike Borgonzi, offense or defense, which unit for the Titans? Special teams will take it off the table because I think everybody feels good about Bones Fossil and what's there on the roster, and Chimere DK returning as an all-pro, and guys like Jaron Kanik, who are coming in here almost exclusively to play special teams. They brought back Julius Chestnut. Was it Julius Chestnut, Morgan Cox, and Joey Sly are the only unrestricted free agents they retained after last year, which I guess shouldn't be surprising to anybody, but also notable when you talk about how much of the roster they just flipped. So the question for the audience, for the chat, for Lucas, for Robert, and for me is, which side of the ball heading into 2026 are you most optimistic about? Be it offense or defense? Robert Saleh, Gus Bradley, or Brian Dable and the rest of the offensive coaching staff, much of which came with Dable from New York to Tennessee? How many pictures to delete?
I've got 500 selected that are getting the axe.
Okay.
Pictures and videos. Do you ever do that? You ever just go in and just...
Every time I delete an email, I delete pictures off my phone. Just because it's all Titans press conference stuff. Like, unfortunately, there are more football players on my phone than there are pictures of the cat or anybody else.
Yeah. That is an interesting question because you have two play callers on each side of the ball that are proven. And especially in the last, what's the cutoff for Brian Dable, where he's had established success for the most part in all of his stops as a play caller.
Oh, he was not good as the Dolphins or the Chiefs offensive coordinator.
And those were bad teams.
And those were 100 years ago.
Yeah. So, really, Alabama and on, 2017 and on.
Yeah.
But you have two proven commodities calling plays on each side of the ball. So it's an impossible question to answer right now because we don't know what kind of leap we're going to see from Cam Ward in year 2. But I tend to have some more confidence. I guess, okay, let's reframe the question. Where is the floor? Where are you more confident the floor will be higher, offensively or defensively? Right now, I'm going to say defensively because of the questions on the offensive line. And I feel as though Robert Saleh has enough up front to be able to manufacture a pass rush. And obviously there are questions personnel-wise. Defensively, they're going to need these rookies to produce, especially the likes of Anthony Hill and Keldrick Falk. But I think I'm more confident in the floor of this defense being higher than the offense so far until we know more about the offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line is their biggest question that still needs to be answered this offseason because right now there is not sufficient. There just aren't sufficient options. And there may not be sufficient options this year. Like you may just have to take your lumps, and that's an unfortunate part of the rebuilding process. I see a number of different comments in the chat. To reframe the question on where the floor is higher, you're probably going to, I think, say defense anyway, just because defense always hits the ground running faster than a new offense does. A new offense with a lot of different players, a lot of different players in free agency, a lot of different players acquired in the draft process, and all who are going to be learning this system for the first time, for the most part, outside of Schlottman and Wan'Dale Robinson and Daniel Bellinger, right? So with Saleh and that defense, if the offensive line is the biggest concern on that side of the ball, what is that unit for the defense? It's the secondary, it's the corners. Because right now I look at the corners the same way that I do the offensive line, where you have two players who can play. Peter Skoronski is the best of any of them, right? Cordell Flott or Alante Taylor. You've got two players who you know can play. Outside of that, you have a bunch of unknown commodities.
Yeah.
Marcus Harris he's not being penciled in as their starting slot nickel, but they are talking about him a lot as far as a guy who is expected to compete. They keep talking about not counting him out, and maybe that's just something you say. They also said that about Will Levis, and I don't know. Do you think Levis is going to be on this roster this year?
No.
I would be surprised. It's probably the secondary unit for the defense, but to your point, Saleh manufacturing a pass rush should buy you a little more grace on the back end of your defense while you wait for that to regenerate more organically, where you are able to add guys through the draft process. With the biggest unknown on the defense, if it's the offensive line on the offense, just simply because of the players who are going to be out there, what is the biggest unknown on defense for the Titans? It's probably Kevin Winston.
Yeah, I think secondary depth as a whole, if we wanted to go big picture.
I just mean like of the things that are going to be out there on a almost down in, down out basis. It's Kevin Winston, right? Well, no, it's probably more Femi Oladejo than it is Kevin Winston.
Yeah, but I think less. I think Kevin Winston is more crucial to the depth at his position than Femi is. Femi's we've talked about Femi's super important to the Titans this year.
But they've hedged their bets.
Yeah, exactly. Like there are options there on the edge. There are options to get to the quarterback. Jeffrey Simmons next to John Franklin Myers is the best situation Jeff's been in since truly establishing himself in the NFL, just in terms of who's directly next to him. Keldrick Falk, Jermaine Johnson.
The best situation Jeff's been in? No.
Since fully establishing himself as a star in the NFL? I think so. Like, yes, he had Jarrell Casey his rookie year, but since becoming the all-pro caliber defensive tackle we've known Jeff to be, I don't know that there has been an interior player with the pedigree of John Franklin, the pass rushing pedigree of John Franklin Myers.
Man, you are not doing enough credit for Danico Autry.
Yeah, Danico Autry's a really good player.
Danico Autry was awesome.
But when you're talking about getting a guy in the prime of his career in John Franklin Myers. And
I think the Titans did get Danico Autry in the prime of his career.
Danico is super effective here, no question. And it's an arguable thing. But for somebody lining up directly next to Jeff, John Franklin Myers, from a pure pass rushing standpoint.
You are getting peppered in the chat with Autry comments. I mean, listen, Danico Autry, like, as a UDFA for the Raiders, he was still an effective player. For the Colts, he was there for a couple of years, and he was a solid player. When him and Jeff Simmons got together here, they were just bashing dudes' skulls in. Like, the best situation that Jeff has played in to date is with Autry and a motivated T.R. Tart. Like, that's the best situation that I've seen Jeff in as an established NFL player. Now, again, Tart had his problems, and, Jeff wasn't – the best version of Jeff we just recently saw. It was this most recent season with a body that's been streamlined and a skill set that didn't lose any power based on the amount of weight that he was able to lose, the amount of again, making himself more of a weapon on a number of fronts, maintaining that explosiveness and still keeping that incredible strength that he's got to make him as effective an interior defensive lineman as there was in football last year. But Tart and Autry, Lucas, I mean, that's a good combination of players. Tart, when they had the defense of Harold Landry, Bud Dupree, T.R. Tart, Danico Autry, Jeffrey Simmons, that is the best Titans front that Jeffrey Simmons has been a part of. Okay. I understand that Bud didn't play a lot, but when he was out there, they were damn good.
No, I'm not talking, and I'm not even talking about the talent of the front as a whole, simply who he is partnering up with. But yeah, that's fair. That's fair on Danico Autry. But either way, you feel confident about the interior right now of that defensive line, and there will be options on the edge.
Some guy said Morgan, Arakpo, Casey, Daquan Jones, and Landry was better. No. Not as a pass rushing unit. John Franklin Myers, to your point, Lucas, you're citing his interior pass rush.
Yeah. But they have the options there up front that they don't have if Kevin Winston can't be an available and productive player for them in year two.
Right now, I mean, the back end of their roster at corner and safety, as Robert Saleh said, is absolutely wide the hell open. We'll continue the conversation. We'll take a look at some offseason storylines. Speaking of things that need resolution, there's a number of offseason storylines that still need answers. We'll talk about all of that. Take your phone calls coming up next.
Oh, there's 1,000,001 questions that need to be answered before the start of the NFL season. And maybe Lucas can help us answer one or two of them right now on NFL Headlines with Lucas Panzica.
Bit of a modified headline segment, more of an NFL offseason question segment. Of course, as we do with everything on this show, we have outsourced. And Dan Graziano has written an article on ESPN with 10 lingering questions to make sense of in the 2026 NFL offseason. So we'll just go right off the top. And we don't have to do all of these. Just both of you guys tell me if you care about this one iota. He leads off with the Miami Dolphins with the lingering questions. Why didn't the Dolphins trade? We're going, Devon, it's Achane, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been Achane.
I just never know these days.
No, it's not. It's Achane is now also the running back in New Orleans.
Do we care about the lingering question of why the Dolphins did not trade Devon Achane after an offseason where they cut loose Tua Tagovailoa, they trade Jalen Waddle, they bring in Malik Willis? It does feel like a major reset happening in Miami with a new coach and a new GM.
What were you going to get for him? I guess is the question. I mean, he is in 2026. That would be a contract year for Devon Achane. So you're coming in here with a player who doesn't have any contractual runway anymore, a running back, no less, who that's very I don't know that he can't succeed in a different system, right? He was electric at Texas A&M. I mean,
he was speed demon.
One of the best players on the football field, no matter who he was playing, and still the case in the NFL. He's a really, really explosive offensive weapon.
Career high last year, 1,350 yards. A quiet 1,300-yard season.
People were starting to talk about the Dolphins were playing better down the stretch. I think there was still some level of surprise that Mike McDaniel got fired.
He did make a Pro Bowl last year.
So,
for whatever that's worth.
And I think it's his first Pro Bowl. I mean, it does mean something, right? It's definitely a contractual thing that you could leverage to some extent.
Yeah, and tack on 488 receiving yards. Like, Achane was a weapon last year on a bad Dolphins team.
So he can continue to be a weapon on a bad Dolphins team, but he is not as valuable to another NFL team as he is to the Dolphins this year, because he does represent at least one pass catching option for Malik Willis. I haven't looked at the Dolphins draft to know what else they added. I know that they drafted Caden Proctor in the first round. I know that they did add a wide receiver later. I haven't looked at the Dolphins draft in a while, so we can go back and look at that at some point, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Robert, if you're moved one way or the other. I just don't think it's a contract that was very acquirable in its final year if you're an NFL team.
As far as Achane goes?
Yeah.
I mean, he's on a rookie deal, so, I mean, it's really if a team like the Chiefs were unable to get Kenneth Walker, I think that would make sense.
Oh, God.
But it would need to be a team that is a running back away, a team that just needs manufactured running game, that you could plug him in and play him and not really have to worry about, oh, we don't have a guard. Oh, we don't have a run game. We don't have this. Like, if you're a team who just needs something like that, I think that would make more sense.
Where would you have liked to see him land? I would have liked to see him go to, like, Baltimore or something like that. Like, Derrick Henry. Is Keaton Mitchell, like, viable right now?
And that's I was going to bring that up. Keaton Mitchell is a Charger. And Eric DeCosta recently did an interview with one of the radio stations in Baltimore, I think it was WBAL, and talked about that when he was an RFA, so the tender they were going to have to give Keaton Mitchell was $3.8 million. And for a player that you have to give him touches, you have to take another player off the field in Derrick Henry. To do that, it was a bridge too far for them to find a contract that made sense for a player that was only going to get 10 to 12 snaps at a max a game. So they were not able to make that work. I think following Mike to the Chargers would have made a lot of sense. I mean, you've got a Marion Hampton there, but other than that, there's not really a long line of running backs that you're like, we got to get this guy snaps.
Najee Harris still out there?
I believe it was a one-year deal. I think he's a free agent.
Yeah, I was just good. I figured that. I don't think I had seen him signed anywhere off the top of my head. But anyway, I do think it's a little interesting. It's not like the most compelling storyline in the NFL. But
well, Graziano writes that Miami sees Achane as a foundational piece. Other players that they include in that category, according to Graz, Titans legend Aaron Brewer, the center, linebacker Jordan Brooks. And obviously you're not getting a king's ransom for running backs these days when it comes to potentially moving them via trade. So they're going to hang on to Devon Achane.
How about that, though? Aaron Brewer foundational building block piece.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Did they just get it totally wrong with him here? I mean, they clearly saw him as a starting caliber player, but that did not work.
No, it did not.
I think when you look at it, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. By the way, Aaron Brewer was PFF's #1 run blocking center.
No, I know. He was a legit weapon for them. He was excellent last year.
He was 10th in pass blocking. And I think that's kind of how you have to look at him. He's not like a center that you just say, okay, he's the guy that transfers information along the offensive line and makes sure everybody has their blocking assignments. He is a weapon that you have to use him in a very specific way, pulling, putting him in space, making sure he gets to the second level. And if you're not an offense that has someone who can, one, plan for that, and two, have an offense that takes advantage of a center that can do something like that, you're not going to get the most use out of it. Like, it's kind of like the Raiders looking at Linderbaum. Linderbaum is a weapon. He's not so much the best pass blocker in the world, but he's a guy that you have to take into account in the run game if you're going to use him like that. You can't just sign somebody and then say, hey, we're going to have you do this, unless you have the skill set for it.
Graziano's second lingering question for the NFL offseason: why didn't the Cowboys want to extend George Pickens? So Pickens signed the franchise tag. He will play on the tag in 2026. Graz writes there are a few reasons why the Cowboys wanted to see Pickens do it again before deciding to commit long-term money to him. One, they're already paying CeeDee Lamb an average of $34 million per year. And so you would be carrying two of the highest paid receivers in the league because George Pickens, despite his flaws, has done some really good things productivity-wise for the Dallas Cowboys. Another reason,
but he's had questions in that season.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Another thing that Stephen Jones said a few weeks ago is that Pickens is still new to Dallas. He doesn't have as much in the bank with them as he would if it had been the team that drafted and developed him. Obviously, there have been questions throughout his career about his consistency, his focus. And Graz writes, while the Cowboys' 2025 experience with him was positive, it's not unreasonable for them to wait another season before making the kind of commitment his on-field performance deserves on its own.
What's a bigger risk with somebody like George Pickens? Is it kind of prodding him a little bit like they are and being like, all right, do it again?
Yeah.
When he's, clearly a high-level player for them. I know he had some moments where I think it was Troy Aikman who was criticizing his level of effort in a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, I think they were playing the Cardinals, but yeah, he wasn't running down, the deep balls hard enough.
Of different things where he looked like he wasn't given full effort.
And he was crazy productive. He had 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns.
So what's the bigger risk with a character like Pickens? Because he does seem a bit unpredictable, right? I guess that's the kind of the nature of this whole thing.
He's a bit of a wild card.
I honestly, that went about as well last year as I thought it was gonna go. I know they had the quick moment where they both got suspended for like a drive or benched for like a drive because they went to a casino the night before. Him and CeeDee Lamb.
I forgot about that.
So there is that. But like, if that's the most offensive thing a Dallas wide receiver has done in the last 30 years, it's probably not that horrifying to somebody like Jerry Jones. Is it worse to say, okay, do it again, or to give him a contract, an extension, without, as they're saying, not much skin in the game with the Dallas Cowboys? Like just locking yourself in after essentially dating this person for a year and saying, all right, we're getting married.
Yeah, wait a little bit to buy that ring. It's okay. I waited 7 years. Third question from Dan Graziano.
7 years.
Why didn't the Giants draft Caleb Downs with the 10th pick? They had Arvell Reese fall into their laps at number 5 overall, and then at 10, Downs was sitting right there. The Cowboys, he writes, had tried to trade up to 9 to get the Ohio State safety. They were fearful that the Giants would take him. Instead, they drafted Francis Maui-Noah, the tackle out of Miami. Graz writes, they felt they had made their defensive pick at 5 with Arvell Reese, and in the end, they wanted to lock in who they determined to be the best offensive lineman in the draft to help fortify Jackson Dart's protection.
This isn't really a question, is it? It's so much better to have a premier player on the offensive line than it is at safety, even if you do play him twice a year.
And he references the Titans here. He says they're far from the only team that's operated in this way. Tennessee and New Orleans, both building around promising second-year quarterbacks, drafted Tate and Tyson, respectively, with their first-round picks. Teams trying to maximize young quarterbacks' chances to succeed wherever they can, and picking Maui Noah over a second defensive standout was the Giants' way of doing that.
Yeah, and the Giants' offensive line, their run game was solid last year. I don't know how much of that changes without Brasillo. Carmen Brasillo, who's now here as the offensive line coach, he's well-regarded. I don't know if a coach just picking up and leaving completely changes the dynamic of a unit. Offensive line's also tough to sustain year over year. Like, I don't blame teams for drafting tackles high on a almost every other year basis, because how long, it's like defense. How long does a team have either the best defense for more than 2 years or the best offensive line for more than 2 years? Like, I feel like pieces and parts just start to erode because of the physicality of those specific things that we're talking about here. So I don't blame New York at all. I think that's the right call.
To play sorry, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, let's move through these, because there are some far more interesting question that Gross poses here than why didn't the Giants take Caleb Downs?
Quick thought, Robert. Or is it not that quick?
It's just they had a tackle. They re-signed Jermaine Illuminor. They didn't really have to get him. He's playing guard in his rookie year. If they wanted to replace somebody on their defense that was terrible, i.e. Tyler Nubin, who I believe was like in the bottom.
Clemson safety or Pitt safety, something like that?
I think Minnesota.
Okay.
Let me double check that. Yes, Minnesota. But he's been terrible. If they wanted to take somebody that could instantly upgrade that spot and start at a spot that he's going to start at for the future now, that would have been the pick.
All right, give me your most interesting one next.
Okay. By the way, Titans have made it official. Carnell Tate has signed his rookie contract.
So that's everybody.
I was worried about that.
Buddy, I mean, I'm telling you, with Mariota and Corey Davis, it dragged into like weeks of training camp. It was an exhausting storyline. So
I wonder if we're going to have to wait this year for second-round picks again because of the wage scale where the Browns gave Schlesinger or whoever it was like all that guaranteed money. We waited on second-round picks until like July.
I think Carnell Tate was the last player on the Titans draft class to sign. I'm pretty sure they have all their draft picks under contract now.
That would make sense because they do not have a second-round pick.
Well, yeah, they do. They have Anthony Hill.
Anthony Hill was a third-round pick, wasn't he?
No, second.
Anthony Hill was second round.
So they moved into the second.
They moved back into the second
but
after
that's
moving
far
out of the
enough
second.
at the end of the second round that his wage scale probably wouldn't have been impacted. I think it got through 6 players in the second round last year.
Yeah, he was picked 60, I think, Anthony Hill.
60 or 61, I can't remember.
So, Graz, with some quarterback questions. Why didn't the Vikings trade J.J. McCarthy? He says the expectation is that Kyler Murray was brought in to start. For those that forgot, Kyler Murray is a Minnesota Vikings quarterback. Graz writes, it doesn't make a lot of sense to trade McCarthy. The Vikings have already paid 70% of his rookie contract. There's no way they could get anything in return that remotely approaches what they spent in terms of draft capital to acquire him in the first place, top 10 pick. They are less than a year removed from believing he could be their starter, not just now, but for years to come. And he says it's not like Kyler Murray is some automatic fix either. He has had one fully healthy season in the past 5. So he reports the Vikings have not given up on McCarthy. Part of their hope is bringing in Murray sends some sort of shock to his system and gets him refocused on whatever they think he got away from last year. Kyler Murray on a 1-year deal.
I think it's also important, before we get your opinion, this note that he puts in here about the value of J.J. McCarthy's overall rookie contract. Still doesn't make a lot of sense to trade him, as the Vikings have already paid 70% of McCarthy's rookie contract. There's no way they could get anything in value return that remotely approaches what they have already spent in draft capital to acquire him in the first place. They're less than a year removed from believing he could be their starter, not just now, but for years to come. Lucas already read that part. But the part about the rookie contract is the most important part for me. They've already paid most of the car off. It doesn't make any sense to trade it back in. Exactly. You might as well let the dude stick and see if he can do anything. Yeah. And if he doesn't do it in the final year of his rookie deal, then you can move him.
Because, I mean, what's the best case scenario is that they have Kyler Murray as a rental and then J.J. McCarthy's actually benefiting from being healthy and sitting through an NFL season. And it's not like Kyler's the most durable player in the world. We would expect J.J. McCarthy to see some time this year.
I think we see him play some this year, yeah.
Right?
So, hell,
Kyler could get benched. He just got benched.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. It makes sense for the Vikings to not trade J.J. McCarthy. Another question from Dan Graziano. Why didn't the Steelers try harder to upgrade at quarterback? He says, no team seems to enjoy its status quo as much as the Steelers do.
That's such a nice way to put that.
But he says you can see why. They haven't had a losing season since 2003, made the playoffs 17 times in this century. What irks Steelers fans is the recent inability to rise above the status quo, pointing out they haven't won a playoff game since the 2016 season. He says maybe Will Howard or Drew Aller ends up being the solution, but if that happens, it won't be because the Steelers stretched to get them. Maybe they finally have a lousy season and find their solution at the top of the 27 draft, but if it happens, it would be because their plan didn't work. For now, they are once again willing to wait on a 42-year-old who has not been a top 20 quarterback by QBR since 2021 because he is competent enough to keep them afloat.
Yeah. Some more important stats that I think are worth reading, just as guys for context, for everybody out there listening. They haven't won more than 10 games since 2020. Yeah, God, that's good.
Yeah, Robert likes that.
God, that's good. Well, there's one more.
You know what I would do for a 10-win season around here? Oh, my God.
It hasn't been to a Super Bowl. And Lucas already read this, but I just think it's important to emphasize this again. It hasn't been to a Super Bowl in 15 years, and they haven't won one in 17.
Graziano writes, the Steelers are familiar with Aaron Rodgers' quirks.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And they seem fine with giving him whatever time he needs to give them an answer.
I did a whole thing on this while you were gone. They should be embarrassed of themselves, the Steelers. They're not the Jets.
But, what other recourse do they have this year when it comes to the quarterback position?
Be more aggressive. I don't know.
And, what?
To get Kyler?
Yeah, give me an example. Be more aggressive.
I think Kyler is more viable right now than Aaron Rodgers.
Or Kirk.
There are more viable quarterback options out there.
Do what the Vikings did and bring in Kyler Murray. Hell, Arizona's paying for most of it anyway. Bring him in on a one-year deal.
Where was Pittsburgh drafting in the first round this year?
But Kyler Murray, lifelong Vikings fan, so clearly he was always going to Minnesota.
Sure. Okay.
You pay him more money. I think cash is green.
He's getting vet minimum to go screw around in Minnesota.
We won't force you to do all those film sessions, and you can play more Call of Duty here.
Pittsburgh was picking where? 21st?
21.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so is it that big of a cost to try and do a deal with the Rams, actually be aggressive? And maybe you don't believe in Ty Simpson or anything like that, but there are options there that they had at their disposal to try and do something other than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and they didn't. He asks, why didn't the Browns cut Deshaun Watson as one of his big lingering questions? He says
that's more like, what the hell else are they going to do?
Yeah, he says he wants to be clear. I don't think there's a world in which Watson plays well enough this season to convince the Browns to re-sign him and move forward with him as the franchise quarterback. He turns 31 in September.
Insane that he's still only 31.
He says Watson's on the Browns right now because it wouldn't make sense otherwise, and if they can get something useful out of him before this miserable chapter of their history comes to an end, great. They've got a ton of quarterbacks.
Is he the player that we're going to talk about as just completely screwing up the prime of his career? He's 31 years old at the most important position in football. He was excellent.
He was excellent. I get this logic. It's it's a fully guaranteed deal. You're not saving anything.
Yeah, it's J.J. McCarthy.
Some cost anyway. You might as well just see what happens with him sticking around.
I mean, unless you truly hate the guy, you just say, all right, just take my money to go away. Yeah. Not that kind of money. J.J. McCarthy money a little easier to make go away than Deshaun Watson.
We're on board with that. He also asks, why didn't the Texans extend C.J. Stroud? He says Houston tends to be very aggressive with long-term extensions for veteran stars, Will Anderson Jr. The latest example, they picked up his fifth-year option, C.J. Stroud's, for 2027, so they'll be paying him a total of $31.6 million over the next 2 years. And Graziano points out his awful play down the stretch last year and how we really haven't seen him play to the heights of his Rookie of the Year campaign in 2023 since his rookie year. He says, add in the fact there aren't currently any big QB extensions on the horizon anywhere else that would scare Houston into trying to get ahead of the market. Carolina doesn't look like it's in a hurry to do a Bryce Young extension. Lamar's not rushing to do an extension with the Ravens. He says, in turn, the Texans are not at risk of having to pay a ton more next offseason than they would likely have to pay this offseason. They can afford to wait and see if he rebounds.
Yeah, but think about this. Okay, let me bounce this off the two of you, because to me, it's only one way in my head. C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young's fifth-year option. You pick up that option. Nobody's disputing it's a no-brainer. You're not going to get a quarterback any better than C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young for $31 million or whatever. I'm not sure what Bryce Young's making on his fifth-year option.
It's probably the same. I doubt he's made a Pro Bowl or anything.
Yeah, no, he certainly hasn't made a Pro Bowl. So we'll say $31 million for both of them. That's a no-brainer. Once you start to talk in $55, $60 million range, then it becomes more of a, okay, do we really want to commit long-term to this guy? So I don't think there's a correlation necessarily between a fifth-year option in today's quarterback market. For what quarterbacks cost on extensions, and I know you can extend their rookie deal to bring down that average cost over multiple years if you wanted to, but what about C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young would make you commit to them long-term? Like, prove it.
Yeah.
So, unless they want to take a cheaper deal, unless they want to be something that's manageable. You go to the Panthers and say, hey, pay me $39 a year, pay me $40 a year.
But if you're Bryce Young, you're not. I mean, if there's a chance for you to make $60 million a year.
But there's also a chance you make 12.
Yeah. But
so, like, if someone's going to offer you the safety of a 3-year, 40 a year, like 3-year, $120 million deal, I think if you're Bryce Young, you would take that, because the contrary is you have to go, sign and be a backup in San Francisco for a year and then potentially get paid?
The only pushback that I'd give you on that is that, yes, there is a model for that more recently. It's happening more for quarterbacks, so you could just delay that payday to some extent and gamble on yourself,
payday,
right?
Yeah.
You would gamble on yourself in that situation, I think. And if you're either of them, I think there's more chance. There's a higher percentage chance, you guys may disagree with this, there's a higher percentage chance they're going to make $30 million a year again than they would 12 with where they are in their careers. Like, they may not get to 60 AAV, but I think there's another shot for them to make 25, 30. I mean, Malik Willis is making how much? He's making 22?
Yeah, something like that.
22 and a half? Yeah, so you've got a better shot at making legit money rather than dropping all the way down to, like, Andy Dalton territory.
We saw it with Trevor Lawrence, where he got into that 55 range, and it was like, well, market's the market. What are you going to do? And he had not played anywhere close to that level, and he did last year. He had the best year of his career. But I wonder if there's some sort of equaling or balancing out factor where teams stop just, he's a quarterback and he's due, so I guess we got to make him top of the market, even though he hasn't played anywhere close to that.
I think we're seeing it.
I don't know that we see that, though, with Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud necessarily.
Yeah, Tua is like the perilous case of
right,
Trevor
exactly.
is like where it can work out.
Yeah.
Tua is the, holy crap, we're stuck underneath this elephant amount of money.
Yeah.
If Deshaun Watson is the worst contract in the NFL, Tua is the second worst contract in the NFL. Last call for phone calls. We'll update some polls coming up next. Last call for phone calls. If you got them, we'll wrap the show up for today. If you missed any of it, check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Zach is in Ashland City. Go ahead, Zach.
Guys, good afternoon. Y'all are talking about Tua's contract and Deshaun's contract. My question is, how come guys don't gamble on themselves like Kirk Cousins? I mean, I think the guy, for being a top-of-the-tier mediocre quarterback, I think he's made like close to $500 million. So if y'all don't mind discussing that real quick, I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
Oh, I think they do. I mean, thanks for the call. Isn't Tua's whole thing like they were delaying paying him, and then he made a whole stink at training camp about show me the money, right? Like that was a viral clip from a couple of years ago. I think it happens far more often than you're giving these guys credit for. Deshaun Watson's situation was him holding the Browns hostage. It's the only fully guaranteed contract, the biggest fully guaranteed contract in NFL history by a mile. It has forever broken fully guaranteed contracts to some extent for NFL organizations. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, the deal was he didn't want to go to Cleveland. He wanted to be traded to Atlanta. He had a no trade clause. So he had to agree on the place he was being traded to. Well, then the Browns came back with the all-in contract where it's like a fully guaranteed, whatever you want, we'll give you the keys to the city, yada, yada, yada. And that flipped the whole script. Yep. He wanted to go to Atlanta. He played at Clemson, from the area, from like recognizes that part of the country. And then Cleveland came in with an offer he couldn't refuse and went to Cleveland. He never wanted to go there. It was all about the money anyway.
Nobody wants to go there.
I mean, that's Myles Garrett, right? How do we keep you here? We're just going to shove your mouth full of more money than you can deal with.
Would you say the Matt Barkley situation was a betting on yourself situation?
Yes.
Because
in college, that we see all the time, I think.
You mean in college or as a pros?
In college.
Like delaying coming out.
Well, he was going to come out, and he was going to be a top 10 pick, but then he went back, he sucked, and then he was a third or fourth round pick for what, the Eagles?
I think he was the third round pick for the Eagles.
Similar to Drew Aller, who wouldn't have been as high a regarded prospect as Matt Barkley would have if he had just come out there at his peak. But, yeah, I think we do see that, especially now.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see that more now than ever. Guys coming back for another ride.
Aller's probably the most recent example. What's another one that jumps off the page since Barkley? Surely there's been others that just don't come to mind. But I can't think of them. Maybe what we'll see here in I'm blanking on the Oregon quarterback's name. Dante Moore.
Yep. He's back for another year at Oregon.
Carson Beck, that paid off for him, though. Carson Beck went back and had the most successful season he's had.
Would you say the Nico situation was betting on himself, literally?
Yes.
And that kind of blew up in his face. I mean, he got the money, all right, not really the money he was looking for, but he ended up in a far worse situation.
Yeah, that's betting on yourself in like the worst way to do it, I would say.
But
they did not handle that.
I almost don't consider that in the same category because that to me reeks of family manipulation.
Yeah.
You know, like there's and listen, that I don't know if you guys saw Hulk Hogan's. I know obviously Hulk Hogan's since passed away, but his former financial advisor just got indicted for, stealing $800,000 from an unnamed public figure, according to court documents. Like people get into bad money situations with people that you're supposed to be able to trust all the time. Now, in Nico's situation, I'm sure that they don't talk about it this way within his family, but his family screwed him in the way that all played out. You would agree?
Nico?
Yes.
I mean, did he bet on himself? Did they bet on
They bet on him.
Yes.
And then
they
pressured
lost.
him. And then ramped the pressure. They pressured him into making these decisions. I understand he's a grown man at 18, but you're not really.
Like in the short term, they lost.
20 or whatever he is.
They bet and lost. But yeah, I think we've seen it. We've seen it plenty. Players betting on themselves to come back for another year and it just not panning out.
What about Brennan Sorsby? Well, I guess he didn't bet on himself. I guess
he bet on the team that he was on, which is a version of betting on himself.
Pretty big no-no.
Google AI seems to think that Dak Prescott is the quarterback that gambled on himself and won the largest amount. because it notes rejecting contract extensions in 2019 and 2020. He wanted a top-tier market deal, played under the franchise tag in 2020. Was on pace for a massive season. You remember he was on pace for like 5,500 passing yards. He was nuts through the first few weeks. And then it ended up ending his season, and then Jerry still paid him.
Interesting. Let's do some polls. Rapid-fire polls.
You do them?
I think so. I think I did 2.
Well, one of them was, oh, no.
Josh says Cam Ward bet on himself. Could have come out after Washington State. Said, I'm going to do another year at Miami. Example. And then number 1 overall pick.
Just forgotten again, Cam Ward.
Presented by Two Rivers Ford. Will LeBron James play next season? 73% say yes, he will. I think he will.
Yeah. He may not play for the Lakers next year, but I feel like he's going to play next year.
What's the biggest question remaining about the Titans offseason? John says secondary still very thin there. Multiple secondary submissions. H-Man says the offensive line.
Yeah, both of those. Screaming.
Which Titans unit are you more optimistic about, offense or defense? Majority defense with 78%.
That's probably just hardwired into a Titans fan's brain until they see offense show any sign of life. It's also the correct answer. Those the polls?
Those the polls.
Very good. That's the show. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Robert and I are off prime time tonight. We will be back doing that Wednesday night, of course. You can hang out with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons coming up next.